All right, I'm going live. All right. Hey, how you doing? This is Eric from AHA Americans How Americans and Amp Live. Welcome to Friday Highlights. We're going to be talking about pretty much the mission is the submission and how important that is to you. Probably thinking, well, why is that important, right? I'm going to do something real quick. Make sure do some housekeeping here and make sure that we got. Make sure the camera is jammed down. There we go. That's cool. All right, we good. Okay, we're right there. Cool. And we'll go back to the Friday highlights and put that right up in there. And hey, if you can, there'll be some links. So certain people are going to have some links so they can come on here. We have a few of our core team. We're going to be chatting with you, or at least we're going to be discussing a few things about the mission is the submission and how important that is to your business. And probably going, well, what the hell does that even mean? Or why should I even want to know about it? Right? I'm going to tell you, it's going to make you money. It's what's going to help you at least get those deals in the pipeline and then start working them and then hopefully working with us as well. And if it's a good fit to put some deals together. Okay. I'm going to share a couple things that we're going through today. Stories are always awesome because they happen every day when you talk to sellers or you go to a property or, just working with investors and some of their stories. Right. So it's a beautiful, lovely thing. It's just part of the real estate business, or I should say the creative real estate investing business for us. So today, Friday Highlights. Yes, we're helping fellow Americans throughout the United States of America. Like, love, and share. We'd appreciate it if you could like, love, and share, and just share it with others. This is for entertainment purposes. It's the Amp Live Real Estate Show. I'm going to be your host for today. And today we're going to have a special guest, and he actually works with us when we're working and rocking and rolling with real estate. It's Mr. Victor. He's going to go ahead and let me see what I got there. Okay, yeah, we're going to be chatting about the mission is the submission. So you can hear it out of his mouth as well. And maybe we're going to share some screens here. I got a screen thing, or what do you call it? We're going to share the screen with this technology that we're using here today. So without further ado, welcome to Friday Highlights. I'll be your host for the Amp Live Real Estate Show. It's been a long day, so always live and uncut. And yeah, it might be cut down the road and then monetized, but right now it's always live, uncut, F-bombs, S-bombs, depends on what it is. For the flavor of the day, but usually we're gearing up for the weekend. So if you have a link, definitely join, click the link, be part of it. Present, I always say 99% of this business is mindset and 90% is showing up. And then the rest is rocking and rolling, skill sets and working your skill set, networking and things of that nature, right? What we're going to share with you with creative real estate investing is the art of the deal and the Amp Live method. I like to put them together. We call it the Amp Live method. It's what we do. It's high trust selling, direct selling, mixed in with some psychology and tie downs and things of that nature. So from being in the business for so long, I'm sharing that knowledge with you. Okay. And we'll do it here. Some of it will be here live, and other times it'll be in a private group setting. We're going to be, we're also looking for acquisitions, dispo, and high ticket salespeople. If you're interested in any of that, definitely do the chat or shoot us a DM. Victor's in charge of along with, we got the young lady, Lily, who's going to be working and helping with the Amp Live, the American Mentee program, in regards to sharing it with you, getting you on board and all that other good stuff, and hopefully helping you with your business. Now, there is a group. There'll be a link down below. Join that group. It's free. It's the Let's Share Real Estate Investment Deals Together. And hey, I appreciate it. It's growing pretty quickly. I appreciate it. We appreciate it for the people that are posting. There's stuff in there from commercial, apartment buildings, houses, single family houses, nice houses, some crazy ugly houses, war zone pads. Everything is coming in, and they're sharing some other stuff too, like raising capital. And it doesn't matter. As long as it's real estate related and it's going to help out the people in the group, we're good with it. If you have stuff to sell, whether it's like a CRM or software or something, we'd love to speak with you, get you on one of these Friday highlights, and we can talk PSA, public service announcement, and put it out there for others to jump on, as well as, hey, if you'd like to see us on maybe your podcast, or if you see this, hey, I like what this guy and these people are doing, then definitely let us know. Shoot you a speaker sheet, the card, or whatever you want to call it. And we love to, share what we're doing with others, because that is our true mission with AHA, Americans helping Americans, one American at a time, one property at a time, one family at a time, doing our part to get America back on track together with you and others across the United States of America. And Amp Live, the American Mentee Program, is one of our mentoring programs, or the main mentoring program. It's one-on-one. where we mentor and train you across the United States of America. It doesn't matter where you're at, where we work with you. And it's powered by Amp Live Media. It's our marketing company. It's a broadcasting media and marketing company. Sponsored by, yes, our lovely VIP execs, Realty and Lending, Step into Excellence. Place your license with us, rock and roll, get the best of both worlds. We do the lending and obviously the broker who does the lending and the listing. If you're looking for luxury properties or you need a luxury property sold, definitely reach out. Or you're looking to hang your license, or maybe you're looking for a new home, or you didn't get what you promised from other brokerages. I guarantee you, we'll work very hard with you and for you, and vice versa, making it reciprocal. The same thing we do with the American Mentee program. And that's working together and caring and watching out for each other. Moving forward, that's our true cause and mission, right? Is to help each other across the United States of America in real estate, whatever it may be. But there's a lot of distressed properties that are coming down the wire. Today's been should have been an admin day, but it was more like a sales day. So we had appointments. We're talking to sellers, talking to mentees. We're going back and forth, working on these deals to get them closed, as well as looking for more deals. So the topic for today is the mission is the submission. What the heck does that even mean, right? I'm going to share my screen with you in a second, but I'm going to make sure Victor's going to be coming on here. We had a few other people that we gave a link to. If they make it, great.
I'm here, buddy.
Hey, what's up, Victor? How's it going, brother?
Hey, it's going good, man. Going good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you got it, man. Let's rock and roll. That's Mr. Victor from Victorious. I like to call him Victorious. He has a company too, Victorious Real Solutions, but he works with us exclusively through AHA, Americans Helping Americans. He's very versed in the mission is the submission. And we're going to go through this a little bit. Stop me if you got something to interject in or you want to share. But go ahead and just kind of give us, go ahead and share your name and introduce yourself, brother.
Yeah, well, to everybody who doesn't know me, my name is Victor. I've been working with Erick and AHA for over 5 years now. I was able to create my own little company, Victorious Real Solutions, to work alongside with Erick and the whole team at AHA. It's been a great experience. When I'm able to, I hop on these lives and stuff, or I hop on these calls and stuff because I'm still in the game. I'm still always learning, and working with Erick and his team, man, has been great. I'm always learning something new. We're always taking down new deals and different strategies and stuff like that. And when I'm not doing this, slinging comic books. And yeah, that's who I am. And I enjoy real estate a lot.
Cool, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, and he's going to be jumping on the horse, and we appreciate having you, Victor. And definitely a valuable asset, networking, all that good stuff. It goes deeper than all that good stuff, right? That surface level stuff.
Yeah.
More about bringing in the core, and so he's there to push and help. At the end of the day, with any mentee that needs some help, we're going to talk a little bit about the mission as a submission. He knows how that rolls and how important it is to get that lead, then take it to an appointment, then take that appointment to an offer, take that offer to an actual deal and get it closed inside the property or actually on the phone, making it contingent upon inspection, and then going and doing whatever we need to do all the way to close of escrow, which is everybody's favorite part, the COE, close of escrow. Because you see just right there, there's a small funnel, but there's moving parts. Anytime there's moving parts, things can happen, right? So we cross our T's, dot our I's, and the devil's in the details, as I always say. And a lot of people I've been talking to, right, kind of doing stuff a little bit this way, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, trying to take a recipe and turn it into whatever. Sometimes it's okay, and then sometimes it just tastes like shit, right? You go, what are you doing? You're just wasting your time, and they feel the frustration too. And it kind of sucks, right? But the market is shifting, and it is changing. So I wanted to just kind of come out here today. You're going to be out and about. I like to do my Friday highlights out and about where it's nice and sunny and beautiful, and there's people walking around, and we usually do it at a couple of places. And I believe it's Chino Hills, the Diamond Bar, and Rancho Cucamonga, where they got, these, everybody's driving around, everybody's kind of going to the shops, and the food smells delicious, and they're driving their Lambos, their low riders, their expensive high, powered cars and stuff. It's pretty cool. But right now we're in the studio right now. So I'm going to be retiring these pretty much. These are just going to be for live stuff in the back. So I'm going to go ahead and put my bug on here because when I'm chatting, I want to see, you can see my eyes and go from there. But Victor, let's go ahead, and I know we got some stuff we're working on. I was kind of sharing some stuff with you before we came live.
Mm-hmm.
But we're hitting the Texas market. You're in the Missouri market. And we're also be hitting the Southern California market because I know you're making those calls for Southern California as well. And then we're hitting Ohio, Florida, Montana, Tennessee, and wherever there's a mentee, we're working deals. But I know we're hitting it hard and heavy. I'm going to do the, right there, like nobody knows, but, it's the Texas Triangle, bro, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's just going to be some tremendous growth. And my little 2 cents, even like if you want to get the Erick Report, definitely if you watch this, DM or whatever, and get that Erick Report. It's just a prediction for the next 5 years and maybe past 2030. Also get that Surfing for Deals. It's going to help you. It's going to help you find those deals. And if you get stuck, jump into the Facebook group and we'll help you in underwriting deals, working those deals. You bring them to the table and we'll work them with you and we'll get you paid if they're deals, right? Or at least analyzing, because you don't want to spin your wheels on stuff where it's not a deal. Or dealing with agents that are unicorn agents, even if they are, hopefully they, you still got to break them down. You got to underwrite them, right?
Yeah.
So, but the money is getting those, talking to the sellers, right? So for example, the young lady, Lily, who's working on, doing the same stuff, bringing some deals to the table, calling our Southern California deals and Missouri stuff. You got to be able to do the submission. So congratulations. She started doing those submissions. She was starting to see results. We're starting to get on the phone now, right? And we're getting more into a process. Process and systems work. People fail, right? Not processes and systems. And if they, usually if it's a machine, right? That's different. A cog in the wheel, we can replace it. A human has to replace it, fix it, but then you put the machine back and it runs. Processes and systems, unless you have to change, then at least you can adjust and adapt, so you don't perish, right? Like a lot of people are doing. Any questions, man? Before I get going, I'm going to share some slides here. I'm going to show the page, like the little page that we use. It's a micro website that we use to get all the information. I'm not going to go through it all, Victor, but you can kind of just solidify or touch bases on what we're doing here because it's super, super important. And then I'm going to throw something on the table, say, look, anybody out there, if you watch this, right? Like I said, like, love, and share. If you need to get in touch with us at all, just throw us a DM or hit the chat. Or any way you're going to see this is being live and it's being streamed on several platforms or social media platforms. You can catch us one way or another. It's open door policy. We don't hide behind, the keyboard or text and email. We're right here live in your face at the end of the day. That's what this business is about. Can't be shy. Social media is now a currency, guys and gals, right? And if you're afraid to get online, I get it, right? Have somebody else do it. Have somebody else be the face, but the process and systems are what's going to make you money, along with the art of the deal and the amp live method. You have to learn how to, use the word sell, or we call it what? Solutions, right, brother? Solutions,
Yeah.
and providing solutions for the sellers, for the buyers, for the investors, for everybody we work with. So anything to add?
No.
Cool. All right. So I know we're looking at some crazy stuff. There was a duplex that needed to be knocked down. It looked like an opportunity. That was close to a college. I think there was a few other properties out in your neck of the woods, right, that are some opportunities. And there was one, I think it came down the wire from another investor. And we'll work with investors after we vet them, make sure they're good to go. Or maybe it's a wholesaler who's spending money and they got a firm that they're working on, and they're working deals and closing. We'll work with those guys and gals. It's the ones that are doing the daisy chain stuff, copy and pasting other people's deals. You don't want to be doing that stuff. I get it. It's just a pain. It doesn't do anything for you. And if it works, hey, more power to you. So I'll check this out, Victor. There was a post, right? I'm not going to name any names, but there's a post with, I think, someone from Texas. I guess, kind of, I guess, coming down on another guru that's out there that was teaching some stuff about bird dogs and, some other things like that, right? And the difference between a bird dog and a wholesaler and all that stuff. And it's not that they probably didn't teach it right. I think the person or the young man took it totally wrong, man. I took the screenshots. It was cool. Reposted them in another website or a different group, or maybe it's in the group. But he was like saying, yeah, bird dog, bird dog is this, and I'm a connector and I'm doing this. And, a wholesaler does this and that. And there's like, what are you talking about, man? You're copying and pasting other people's deals. You're not connecting anything because you don't have any permission. There's no JV. There's no agreements. And a joint venture is what? Joint venture, right? We put paperwork together, and I'm either going to, hey, Victor, sell this deal for me, man. Or, hey, I got a deal, and, vice versa, right? We work it. And, wholesaling, obviously, you got to go in and do what? You got to do the contract, right? You got to find the seller, you got to negotiate it, you got to get it under contract, and then sell that paper, right? That's what wholesaling is. A bird dog, you're just hunting for deals. He was thinking, hey, no, I'm not doing, I'm not a bird dog or bird. He had different definitions. It was crazy, man, in regards to what, almost like a wholesaler. Oh no, they do something different than this and that, and they're like more like a bird dog. And said, no, man, everybody was coming down. I guess the guy who posted it, he was going back and forth in a DM, and he was showing the whole fucking chat. Like, oh my God, poor guy, right? And then a bunch of people started hammering. Social media is brutal, and it can be brutal, right? But it could be your friend too.
Yeah.
So how that goes, man. You do a lot of it. You're online selling stuff in the comic books. I think. Hey, I found that other one. It was in a where was it? It was in the bag of mine. I don't know why, but I think it was the shit. What was the last one? Oh, the Bruce Lee one, man.
Yeah, that was dude. That was over a year. That was about a year ago. Because we're coming up on March, and that's when I released it. Was March, so it was about 8 months ago.
Wow. Yeah.
That's good. You found it.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
freaking out. I go, man, I know I had that thing. I put it somewhere and I put it in a spot and then it wasn't there. Then I go, fuck, where the fuck is it? And I don't know why, but I had it in my bag. So when I go out, I usually have my bag and I have my bag of tricks, go to the property or whatever we're doing, and everything's in there. But my bag is black. And I think when he sent it, it's in a black package. So it blended into the bag and it sat there forever, man. Didn't even know that it was in there. And then I showed it to Liz. Oh, man, huh?
I was laughing. I was like, man.
Oh yeah, but then I showed it to Liz. She's, oh, you need to get a frame and put that shit up because like you're building out the little studio and stuff. I got some rock and roll stuff. I got the little mic thing, rock and roll, piano, some other shit. Got the TV we put on the wall and shit. So I'm gonna take these down and we'll just be flowing stuff on the back and then the screens and all that good stuff. So, just gearing up for the new cycle, bro, for the rest of 2025 and 2026. Now I wasn't planning on asking you, but for 2025 and 2026, what do you think is going to be happening in the market in 2026? Put you on the spot. And there's no right or wrong answer. It don't matter, man, because it's a crystal ball type of question.
Yeah. Well, I see a lot of properties more coming to the market. I mean, a lot of people dealing with a lot of pre-foreclosures and stuff that's going on. There is a shift kind of changing and things like that. I don't know. I can't kind of predict, but I just see that it's kind of going to where there's going to be a lot more inventory available.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I don't feel like it's all going to be wholesaling, you know? I think some people are going to have to understand, like, you can't just wholesale the whole time and stuff. You might have to start getting down and dirty and doing some flips yourself, or you might have to subject to it, maybe rent it out and stuff like that. I see that there's a lot of different options, creative options going on more now than just like everybody just buying
Right?
cash and stuff like that. So
you're right. Everybody's moving to
what
trying
do
to
you-
figure out how they can leverage what they've
yeah,
learned, leverage their money, or leverage what they're doing. Right.
right.
Okay. So the beauty to that is that when that starts happening, and I agree with you 100%, things are going to start, they're already changing, they're shifting, days on the market longer, but some areas are flying off the shelf. You can have OC and it could be Orange County and Fullerton or Irvine, boom, gone in, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days under contract, right? Other spots could be, man, it's on the market for 30, 60, 90 days, right? Just depends. So, as you know, we're definitely looking for properties. So I'm going to put it out there. Definitely looking for properties throughout the United States of America. Texas Triangle for sure. We got the Dallas Fort Worth. We're down into even the Austin to San Antonio, even to Houston, right? I'm not a fan of Houston because all the flooding and shit. But hey, you know what? That's what insurance is for and all that good stuff. But as long as it can cash flow, if we can get some awesome, juicy deals and cool. But stay in the Texas Triangle. And then obviously Southern California, working all 4 counties. That's right, 4. You know how to count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 4. I'm just kidding. 4 counties, right? So we got 4 counties: San Bernardino County, Riverside County, Orange County, and Los Angeles. The good parts of Los Angeles. unless we can find some juicy deals, but we're not really wanting to go into the hood to buy that stuff. Other people are, so we'll definitely wholesale them off to you. Jump on our VIP buyers list if that's the case. We're also looking to continue to grow the friendship deals in regards to being able to take on these sub 2 buyouts. So I'm not going to get into that right now, but that'll be maybe on another segment. And I'm going to give you the schedule for the week real quick. We got Friday highlights. That's usually the pulse of real estate. What's going on in real estate? That's why I was asking you. I wanted your opinion. And also, we're doing the PSA announcements. So anything that you want to announce, definitely let me know. We'll put it out there. I know we got some stuff coming down the wire with webinars and things of that nature, deals. Definitely join the Facebook group. And on Saturday, squeeze in some Saturday trainings, or I'll be out in the field. And whether it's you or others, we can always do this live and put it out there so people can see what's going on. Sunday for the Sunday sermons, I may be changing that up a little bit, like I was discussing with Victor earlier, right? It's just never been a thing for me. And have a little bit of lunch with the family, and probably maybe should be shutting down that phone to not be doing any business. But duty calls. If there's an emergency, we got to rock, right? And then Mindset Money Mondays. Back to Tuesday, some deals, Wellness Wednesdays, and then some that, which I think that would be a good one for you, brother, because I know you're into meditation and and all that good stuff. And I think I don't know about yoga, but hey, I was doing a little bit of yoga. Wife, boss, saying, hey, let's do a little bit of yoga. Get the family doing some yoga and stuff, right? And meditation. It's all good. I know we're juicing, man. Have you ever juiced?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. We're doing that with the beets and freaking vegetable. She put together a crazy one. It had freaking bell peppers in it, man, and some other stuff.
Oh man,
not my favorite.
I haven't had that.
Yeah, it was pretty. I don't know, pretty strong, right? But it's pretty good. All the other ones are pretty good, man. And juicing is obviously good for you. Our goal is the health and all the shit. Been studying, not studying, but a lot of things have been coming into play with stuff. Because I hear a lot of people, man, I got this brain cloud. Not you in general or me. But it does happen sometimes. I get that, that foggy brain, man. What's going on? What's going on? And then you got to get out of it, right? And a lot of it is that processed foods, right? You got and meditation and reading, and whether you pray and eating right, and just having mostly the mindset. 99% of this, like I said, is mindset. But what I'm holding here is just a physical copy, right? This is the mission to submission, or the mission is the submission. Probably going, what is that? Really, it's just a micro website to be able to gather information. People can do it in the comfort of their own home, but where you learn the most and become the expert is filling this out, not physically. You don't have to do it with paper. There's obviously a lead gen page that I'm going to pull up right now, and it gets all the information that's needed, right, to be able to make an offer, a professional offer based on what they're going to share with you. And we're also sharing the art of the deal and the Amplified method with you. So it's a psychological tie down solution, sales part, and we're qualifying the seller to see if we want to work with them. Now, Victor's been through this probably 1,000 times. He's done tons of them and all kinds of stuff, right? And bringing down deals and staying in the business. But it's super important, and I'll kind of let him know. I'm going to let him express to you how important that is. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up for the next slide. I'll just show you real quick. So we can pull that up right there. And I believe I have the screen share. So can you see that?
Yep, I can.
Okay, cool. So it's Eric, make me an offer. And I'm going to go to it real quick. And anybody comes aboard. What do we got? Did I delete it? Oh, I sure did, huh? Well, okay. All right, let's go back to it. Where's it at? There it is. Boink. Pull back up. Should be able to share it. Can you see it?
Yep, I sure can.
Oh, you still see? Okay, good. So I did stop sharing, so I just got to go back to the website. All right. Where's it at? Right there. All right. So anybody comes aboard, or even if you're working with us exclusively, right? It'll be Eric, Lily, Victor, Spencer, Joe, Jimmy. It doesn't matter. Sweden, right? It's gonna have your name across the top. We buy houses, ugly ones too. Cash or terms, yes. We still do the we buy houses, no commissions, no closing costs, written guarantee within 24 to 72 hours. Instant offer, any way you want to slam it or slice it. That's what we do, right? And there's videos and things that out there, and it's part of the marketing of what we do. But we get the information here, okay? If you can, and there's 3 steps to this, right? I'm not going to get into the training part. We'll do that on maybe Saturday. But if you're interested and you want to make some calls, anybody out there want to make calls, We'll get you the data on the skip tracing. Well, first we'll meet and see if we're a good fit, with myself, Victor, and anybody else who's available to say, hey, you know what? Let's see if we're a good fit. This is the process. This is what we're going to do. And if you're wanting to learn, you want to make some phone calls, and we'll supply the data and the skip tracing, all that good stuff. But we got to be able to, do the process, rock the process the way we're going to rock it. Now, when you're doing a submission, now obviously you got some leads from Southern California and obviously in your own backyard. But let's just tap on Southern California. So when you're making those Southern California calls, like what's the process? You obviously, maybe you can give us a little taste of your magical wisdom there, brother.
When I'm doing calls, like you're saying specifically to SoCal,
Yeah, the
or
SoCal,
just in general?
it could be anywhere. It could be Southern California. Kind of reason I'm saying because it's already fresh in your head. Southern California, Missouri, it could be Texas. It doesn't matter. But what we're doing, and we're going after a specific niche, right? We're going after NODs, NOTs. Notice the defaults.
Mm-hmm.
Notice the trustee sales are in general. You can call them pre-foreclosures. Some people call them pre-foreclosures. Some people call foreclosures. Period. Right? You say potato, I say potato. There's all kinds of acronyms.
Right.
But for us, we're going, hey, this is a pre-foreclosure. It's before it goes to the auction. And can you buy it at the auction? Yes. If someone buys it at the auction, cool, good for them. Not so good for the owner. If nobody buys it at the auction, then it becomes what's called an REO, real estate owned, goes back to the bank. The bank doesn't want it, but they get it anyways, and they're protected anyways with insurance and all kinds of other shit. Then eventually it'll come back onto the market. They'll do a lockout, close out, clean it all up, and then hire a broker to sell it. So what we're doing here is part of the distress situation, right? Is helping our fellow Americans across the United States of America, is helping them with those pre-foreclosures, right? So if we're on the horn
Yes.
with foreclosure and we're giving them a call, hey, you know what? We're going to give them a call. What are the main things? And I don't put you on the spot, but you kind of know what they are.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. I can interject and tap in, right? But when we're calling those, it's a different type of seller, right? Because they're really emotional. And,
Yeah.
wake up in a different mood every single day, right? Because there's a lot of stress. But we're there to provide solutions to them. So, for example, let's say we're calling a Southern California property, and maybe it's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. We don't know. We kind of know the information there, but we're not really. We're just making the call first, and then we get all the information in 3 simple steps, right? When we're doing this, because the mission is the submission, and it could
Yeah.
be, at the same token, it could be a for sale by owner, right? It could be one of our surfing for deals type of leads. It could be a data lead where they raise their hand after you blast some text and read his voice message. The lead could be from a postcard, right? It could come from a letter, right? Like we do in these. Here's some of these. Hopefully, we need to get this going on in your area, bro. I don't know if you can see that. Probably not.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it. I'm going to share that with you as well. And you can probably do some of those because I know we're talking about door knocking in your area as well, right? So with this, what's the first step? We get it on the horn. We're going to give them a call. We know they got a telephone number. We're probably going to do a direct call. How does that work?
I mean, it's simple. I mean, for me in the beginning, it was kind of hard, but I mean, you get on the phone, give them a phone call and stuff, and you just talk to them and explain who you are and what your interest is and stuff in the property. So pretty much like, hey, my name's Victor with the HA. We're looking for properties in your area and stuff like that. And sometimes, like you said, depending on the person, you can see how they are instantly. They'll be like, well, what do you call me for? What do you want? So right off the bat, you have to kind of go in being cautious, but then once you start to hear how they are, their demeanor and stuff like that, you kind of gauge on how to respond. So it's like when somebody's kind of a little bit hostile or like a little irritated, it might not even be your fault and stuff. So it's just like you kind of make them feel a little bit more at ease. You talk with them, and then you go through the submission form, but you just, how can I say, you do a little bit more organic, rather than just straightforward and stuff like that. So I feel like when you're making the calls, don't be afraid. There's going to be a bunch of people that tell you no and say this and that and stuff like that, but there's somebody you might be able to help. I mean, that one person that's probably telling you no, what do you want? What do you call me for? You don't know what they're really going through. We might have a little bit of information saying, hey, it's a property that's kind of in pre-foreclosure, or, they're backed up on a couple months and stuff, but we don't know actually why. It could be something a lot. more, how can I say, personal
Right.
or health wise and stuff like that. And we've seen that,
True.
and everything. So we worked with all different types of people from all different types of walks of life, all different types of ups and downs and stuff like that. And like you said, the main thing is like when you're talking, you're getting to know each other and you're getting to hear more information about the property and get all the stuff you need on the submission. More in like SoCal though, I feel like in certain parts of the United States when you call, right, you got to kind of have a little bit more. I gotta say, not pizzazz or nothing, but like a little bit more confidence. You have to be confident, especially if you're calling any properties in Southern California, stuff like that, because they deal with people calling them 100 times a day.
Yeah.
Um, so when you're speaking with them, just be confident, be direct, talk with them, hear them out, and stuff like that, and let them know that there's different options. Like number one thing is that I've seen, and even I've experienced myself, is that when you call, the first thing that they're thinking is that you just want to buy their house. And sometimes it's not even like that. I mean, because with like Eric and the team and everything like that, we've helped people when they're about to lose their property, but we didn't purchase it, but we helped them save their butts. We're not going to say any names or anything, but the people that have been saved from pre foreclosure, there's been ways to get them out of it and stuff like that. There's more than just one option, and sometimes it's hard to explain it to them. So that's why I
Right.
say you got to kind of have some confidence, be direct and stuff, but listen to them at the same time.
Right. No, no. Awesome. Beautiful, man. And that's part of it. That's like we call the amplified method or the art of the deal. Psychological. We're asking questions, open-ended questions. Don't want to make it like too difficult or technical words. In its simplest form is what we're doing. Is like you said, having a conversation and confirming stuff, and then trying to put together solutions for them. Right. By asking
Yeah,
all these questions. And it's usually when the beginning of the call, we want to make sure that, hey, that the name is the name and that they do own that property, right? And if they do own that property, then we move in, we start giving them all the, we start asking them the questions, figure out what they want to do, like you're saying. Some bring it, hey, have you thought
mhm,
about selling the property? Yes, no, no, I want to keep the property. I'm not gonna give this property away. I'm not gonna sell it, or the bank's not gonna take it from me, or I'm going to talk with the bank, right? And for
yeah,
that specific type of lead, right? But you need to understand. You have to also understand the mechanics of the loan model, the short sale. Are the banks your friend? Obviously, not. At the end of the day, but also full disclosure as well, right? Not an attorney. It's for entertainment purposes. Not a bookkeeper. Not a CPA. Not a financial analyst. If you like what we're seeing here, just hey, share it, like it, love it, and all that other beautiful, lovely stuff. And if you want to work with us in some capacity, definitely reach out. We'll touch bases with you. But definitely, we're looking for those properties in Southern California and all the other places like Texas Triangle, Missouri, Tennessee. I believe it was, I know even down there like in Nashville, Florida, Montana, in the spots where properties are moving. And we'll look into certain areas if it's not really, it might be a better rental market. But as you can see on this form is gold, right? If you fill out enough of these, or you even fill out one, it's a super, super hot lead, right? It's better than the leads you'd probably buy and spend 150, 250 bucks for with, depending on who's getting all that information and how they're building that relationship. Because obviously we're befriending that owner, right? The seller who wants to, maybe whether they want to sell or not, we're still there to provide those options to them, right? Because they're not going to know. All they're going to think is, hey, I got to talk to my bank and try to figure it out and work it out. Or I got to list it. But sometimes there's not enough time to do that. Or if you're dealing with an agent who doesn't know how to work those things, then there might not be enough time. But if you are working with an agent who knows how to slow down the sale and kind of work with you and actually get it unloaded, then cool, right? Then we can help them with that, right? With the brokerage side. In the private sector, yes, we're there to help them, right, Victor? And they're out, to see what we can do. We don't have to kill it on the deals like other investors, right? And at the same token, if we can't help them, or if they're not flexible, or if they feel uneasy, then we're going to feel uneasy because we want to be able to sleep at night. And they got to understand and know exactly what's transpiring, what's going to happen. If they feel uneasy or don't feel comfortable, wouldn't be the first time I walk away from a deal, right? We'll walk away. And it's not to do the walk away or the takeaway on purpose. That's the, we will do that when we're negotiating a deal for the best deal. But at the end of the day, if it doesn't make any sense, because I want to sleep at night, Victor, all of us want to sleep at night, and making sure, and then hey, we'll point you in the right direction, and then hopefully, hey, it works out for you, right? And sometimes that's it, and sometimes it's the ego for sellers. No, 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 and we offer them money, and then they end up losing the house to the bank or losing the house to another investor. And that's what we tell people too. We can either work with you and talk with you now and get you the most money, and if not, we're one of our associates or partners are probably going to go bid at the auction, and then they're going to still going to get the property, or we're still going to get the property. And at the end of the day, they're not going to get anything except for maybe some cash for keys if they're lucky. So see it happen a few times, several times, but that's just the mentality of people, right? I get it. It's just a house. It's not worth your stress. It's not worth any of that bullshit. Let the son of a bitch do what you got to do and move on with your life, right? But at the same token, you know, we're there to figure out a creative way to purchase the properties. And it don't always have to be NODs or pre-foreclosure, right? This can be for sale by owners, right? Like we're doing with the surfing for deals, right? I know you're doing some surfing for deals. We know we had Spencer. He was surfing for deals in Texas, got some deals very quickly. I know you're doing it. You can do it on Zillow. You can do it on Craigslist. You can do it on Facebook Marketplace. I believe there'll be a link down below. There might be a link down below. You can probably get that for free before we start charging for it. But it'll definitely give you a video on how to do it, copy and paste and rock and roll. But on this form, everybody gets one when they come aboard and work with us as a mentee, or if they're coming in as acquisitions or dispo of some sort, and we share that with them. Also, the marketing is super important to have marketing, right? You got to have that marketing. So this is like a half flyer. This does go out, or you can call it a bandit sign, a digital bandit sign if you'd like, right? But it has your information. It's Americans Helping Americans is the brand, right? We buy houses, ugly ones too. Sell your house fast. And these things work. You can either pass out the flyers, you can build postcards, you can do it online, but a lot of this stuff are things that you need. You should have verticals of marketing of some sort. You start on one vertical, right? And we know how we talk about verticals, Victor. You got one vertical, and that's marketing. Everybody start off easy peasy, elbow grease. Let's go surfing for deals, right? How fast, like when you got started, or even now, like if you turn this son bitch on, you start surfing for deals, you'll start talking to sellers probably within hours or at least the same day, right? If not the second day.
I could for sure say the second day, but some like on a good hype and you're like kicking butt as soon as you hop in and stuff, sometimes it can be a matter of minutes and hours. Like, there's been times that I turn it on and I start hunting for deals and stuff and I'm sending
Yeah.
out some emails. And as I'm looking for properties and stuff, still not even done with the first 10 that I've been looking at, I'll get an email back or I'll get a phone call or a text message and stuff. So it could go from like I know for sure guaranteeing the second day you will get something if it doesn't happen the first day. But just be aware and be prepared that something's going to pop off the first day, like because it happens. It's happened numerous times with people from the past that we worked with and stuff like that. Even now, I mean, it happens the way we do it. Um, and also, obviously, we're not just sticking to just one property and say, "Oh, let's just twiddle our thumbs and wait." And just hope that this person decides to take their email and stuff like that. That's another thing too that we're good
Right.
at here, working with AHA and stuff. If one of us can't get a hold of the property in question that we're looking for, the subject property, we have other team members and stuff that will do their best that'll try to skip trace, do their due diligence, find out in any way to inform how we can contact them. Because sometimes we know this too, that some of those owners don't even know that they're in situations that they're in and stuff. They're elderly people. They don't use cell phones. They're on, they don't even have dial up or cable and stuff. They have a landline, and stuff like that. So,
So call the landlines, right?
yep, you got to call them. You got to call them
Yeah.
all and stuff, and you can't give up
Yeah, I've heard
and
others
stuff like
say,
that. So, when you're surfing for deals,
yeah,
it leads to one thing, but there's been times too what I was trying to get at was with certain for deals, right? It could happen right then and there that same day, but for sure, guaranteeing almost 100%, I could almost vouch for it that by the second day or by the time you wake up in the morning, you'll get some responses from people, guaranteed. Because you're blasting out emails and you're shooting text messages and stuff, and you're trying to get information, so you already got that engine going. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
it's already like chucking and chucking, and so it'll start to produce what you're looking for, which are leads. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, but you know, you got to go through them all and see which ones are the ones that are right for you and stuff. But that's another thing. Maybe they might be all right for you. You just don't know how to do a subject to existing finance, or you don't know how to, do seller financing and stuff like that. But if you working with Eric and HA and us, we know how to do all that type of stuff. So that's another way to understand that if you're working with a good group of people and they know what they're doing and stuff, they have your back and help you with what you're gonna do.
Yeah, super important to have those exit strategies, right? I mean, you're going to start off as a bird dog, like we were talking
Yeah,
about that other kid, right? He's like, oh, bird dog. No, they just do certain things, and then the wholesaler does this. A bird dog is just someone goes out and finds properties, period. But at least they're looking for properties, right? Looking for properties
right.
exclusively for themselves to be able to share with you, not some deal that's floating around all over the place. Now, we'll do that only because we vetted people and we understand what they're bringing to the table, and they took the time to underwrite, not just grabbing stuff and then sending it to somebody. A bird dog actually, that's what I did, and what I suggest, and what I think is a definition of a bird dog. You go out, find properties, you hunt the properties, you look at the properties, and then you pass on the address, some pictures. If you're even the seller's information, if you can get that, because so you want to make some more money, it's all based on a referral fee, right? 250 to 1250 bucks or so, depending on the spread of the deal. That's it. Most wholesalers that we've been talking to that are out there, I would consider them as bird dogs. They're not wholesaling. They're not trying to find the deal and lock up the deal and then negotiate it and then sell off that paper. You're working as a wholesaler. That is a wholesaler, right? But even then, it's
Yeah.
still a one trick pony. It's the way to get money into your pocket. It's the way to build up your business. That's what I did, by accident when I got started, and then sell off those deals to other investors, build it up, and then cherry pick and pick the ones that you can buy or leverage. That's when you start learning about leverage, right? And going, man, I want to learn this sub two stuff. I want to learn seller finance. I want to learn this wrap stuff on options, lease options, all this good stuff, right? That flies under creative real estate investing. That's what I call it. Creative real estate. That's what we all call it here at AHA, Americans How Americans, it's creative real estate investing. It all lies underneath that umbrella. Others, I think I did a post, I like talking about stuff. I don't give a shit. But, he's a good guy. He has the program and stuff, CRM and everything. I wouldn't say anything bad against the guy. I read his story. I read his post, and like, that's awesome. Cool, man. Fuck yeah. Congratulations. But he said back in 2005, they're talking about wholesaling and that it's a one trick pony and that there's other ways of doing stuff and, the daisy chain and stuff. And I go, well, 2005, there's no such thing as wholesaling. Social media didn't come out to 2008, 9, and 10, right? Or somewhere around there. And then they gave it a name called wholesaling. It was called creative real estate investing. You know this one, right? Creative real estate investing. Buy a house with no money, zero down, good credit,
Mhm.
bad credit, no credit. Too damn long, as I always say, right? And they give it a chuckle. But at the end of the day, there was no wholesaling back in that time frame. So that's the good thing about social media. You got to have your tribe with you. They're going to stick up for you, right? Some will, some won't. I know you guys have done it in the past for me with other jabronis. You may not remember, but I do. But I get it. It wasn't to be anything bad against the guy. I just thought it was kind of funny. I said, well, yeah, and there's no wholesaling in 2005. It was creative real estate investing. Could you wholesale? Yeah. Did it have a name called wholesaling? No, it wasn't. It's just creative real estate investing, get the contract and sell it off, right? And he goes, oh, no, this is called double closing and called this and that and a few other names. They double close, I said, well, that's cool, man. Awesome. Thank you for the insight. I was going to be a dick and just fire away at the dude, but I said, nah, hey, thanks for the insight. I appreciate it, man. But yeah, I'll still stick to it. There was no wholesaling back in 2005, brother. I should know. I was doing it before it was called wholesaling, blah, 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 blah. Not to say anything about how long I've been doing it. I'm just saying, I love what the guy's saying, right? But at the end of the day, it's just a fucking post, man. So rock and roll. And he shut up, disappeared. And then I went and DM'd the guy. And we're like, hey, what's up, man? Yeah, he's doing some cool stuff. He's going to be doing some speaking in Florida and some other cool stuff, right? So, but that's what it's about. Can't get your panties all in a bunch all the time, right? About shit. And I know the guy was new because I went back and looked at it. He happened to be an engineer, and he's 2 or 3 years in the business. He's you got 5, you got 2 more years to go, right? 2 more to go before you're considered a professional. But it's okay, right? Shit like that is out there, and it makes me laugh sometimes. But as you got to have haters, right?
Right.
So that's when you know you're doing something right. But I thought that was funny. So you can see the screen right there. Surfing for deals, surfing for deals. Get it? It's free. I believe we're gonna post it in the chat real quick. Um, I think I did. Did I share investment deal? No, that's a Facebook group. Is in the chat. Grab it. You can grab that too. That's free right there. Surfing for deals. It's not going to cost you a dime. Also put on the. I'm going to put up the QR code, brother, real quick. And it doesn't cost you a dime to scan the QR code. If you see this, you remember anybody who watches, you can watch it back, forward, rewind it, all kinds of stuff. There's always going to be some juicy nuggets, and even Victor's going to be, dropping some stuff that maybe you understand better than I, and vice versa. Let's go ahead. There it is. Instant access, right? Instant access to my Surfing for Deals training. Scan that QR code, as I always say. And if you want to, yes, it generates. Victor said it right there. That's a 30 to 35% response rate. You send out 100, 30 to 35 people are going to respond back to you. Like Victor said, not every deal is going to be a deal, right? You got to sift through them. And they're all for sale by owners. They're all people are saying, hey, I want to sell my damn house, right? For whatever reason, who cares? It doesn't matter. But they put it out there so they can't say, oh, what are you texting me for? What are you emailing for? No, they put the ad out there. So we're fishing where, right? We're surfing for deals in a place where people are wanting to what? Sell, right?
Right.
So it's not like that is a little bit different. You shoot out the data and you cross your fingers and hopefully they raise their hand and a middle finger emoji, right? Where they're like, hey, fuck you. You know what I mean? Or they're like, give me $1 million for my $200,000 shack, right? Or they
Yeah.
say some crazy shit that I won't even want to repeat here because it's just pure freaking ignorance. But I get it. They're stressed out. They're tripping out. And then sometimes it's not even pre-foreclosures, Victor, right? They're just pissed off at the world and say, no, I'm not selling my house. I'm never going to sell my house. I'm going to live here forever. Oh, what are you trying to do? What is this all about? Is it a scam and this and that, right? But come
Right.
on. How many times do you get messages and emails and, you know, you can cry about it or just say, nah, I'm not going to mess with it, right? But it blows my mind. Hopefully, but things are changing, right? The shift, the guard has changed in the government. I get it. They're two sides of the same coin, man. I'm not going to get too political, brother. But, you can give me your opinion too, man. At the end of the day, I know where you live, man. I know what crazy shit goes on in your state too, man. California is crazy, as you know. And we got to deal with all the shit. Texas is going through some crazy shit, which I don't want to mention too much. But, it's everywhere. But hopefully, whole goal, right? That was the premise of AHA, Americans Helping Americans, right? It's one American at a time, one property at a time, one family at a time, right? Doing our part to get America back on track, together with who? You and others across the United States of America, right? It's a joint effort. That is our cause and mission, to help other fellow Americans with their distressed properties. It could be luxury properties. It could be nice houses in nice areas. We don't care. We'll get you an offer within 24 to 72 hours, an instant offer. And it's a contract. It's agreement. You may not like it. If you like it, we'll move forward. If not, that's okay too, right? But that's the
Right.
premise of what we do, and it hasn't never changed. And we just kind of now, obviously, we mentor and we coach, and we got the American Mentee program, we got VIP execs and all that good stuff, Amplified Media, as you continue moving forward. And we're always looking for good people. But jump on that. This will help you explode your phone, email, and text. Guarantee it. With leads, and sellers that are saying, hey, I want to sell. And yeah, you're going to get some weirdo wankers and some pissed off people here and there, even though they're the ones that are saying, I want to sell my property, right? But it's all right. As you said, it works super quick, super quick, right? Usually with minutes, hours, right? Or the next freaking day. I always say, and you know that, man, we do like maybe you could do 4 or 5 in the morning, maybe 4 or 5 or 10 in the afternoon, maybe hit 3 or 4 or 5 at night. And in the morning, your shit's blowing up. I guarantee you that day's shit's going to blow up. But
Yeah,
if you
my
finish
my
up,
technique is for
tell
surfing
me.
for deals for the most part.
Yeah.
I will be, and you know this for me. I am a certified full blown vampire, man. I am a man of the night, a creature of the night. So I
Burning
do
that
all of my
midnight oil.
best work at night and stuff. So even at night, like I'm surfing for deals. I got Facebook open. I got Craigslist. I got Zillow. I got
Awesome.
Craigslist and open and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah, yeah.
blasting out emails and stuff like that to everybody, right? And I know that by the time I wake up in the morning, I wake up around 10, 11 in the morning and stuff. I check my phone, dude, and you already know. there's emails, there's messages, there's people
Yeah.
hitting me up, and stuff. So I wake up to it and stuff. So that's a pretty good thing and stuff. So for people who say they can't find time to do it, you can do it in the middle of the night before you go to bed too, especially for all you night owls and you're like, oh, it's too late. Well, you're not
Right.
calling people. I don't you're not actually physically calling these people, you're sending them emails, right? So I feel it's okay. So I send emails at any time of the day, and when they can get to them, they get to them.
Right. That makes sense. I like that. And it works, man. And it will give you the
Because what do
platform to
you
share
do?
with
Let me ask you this
huh?
really quick. What do you
Yeah.
do when you wake up in the morning? You wake up, you do your daily routine and stuff, but when you grab your phone, I'm sure that you look at your emails, you check your text messages, you see your notifications, right? Well, most of those people wake up with a notification that's saying I'd like to purchase their property or a little more information about it. So they wake up to it. That's
Right.
how I kind of
True.
strategically do it sometimes too, because yeah, you can send it throughout the day or right after they get off work, but sometimes you got to think. They'll see it, they might not, they may not pay it no mind, but when they first wake up, the first thing that somebody does in the morning, right? Sometimes before they even brush their teeth and wipe the boogers off their eyes, they will look at their phone to see what time it
Yeah.
is. They will look and see if any notifications. They'll look and see if the deposit came in for their check that they've been waiting for. So many different things. Hey, did their girlfriend message them this morning? Did their boyfriend? So
Yeah.
that's why I kind of do as much as I can and stuff at night. And I
Yeah.
don't make any excuses about that. That's what I'm trying to tell whoever's listening and who will listen in the future. Don't make it an
Yeah.
excuse that, oh, you don't have enough time throughout the day and stuff and your kids and everything. You got to put your kids to bed at 11 o'clock at night or
Yep.
10 o'clock at night. Then you don't have no time for yourself. And well, you have time for yourself when you're scrolling on TikTok and Instagram for hours on
True.
end. Do that on your
Yep.
phone, but have your laptop open next to you and do the same damn thing. Scroll on Facebook Marketplace instead of looking for stuff you want to buy for your house all the time. Look for a
Yeah.
property that you could make an offer on and be able to close it and then do a lot more. So
Right.
I felt like I was a little rambling on about that, but what I was
No, it's
trying to
actually
say
perfect,
is
man. That's true.
you
That's
can
it,
do it in
man.
so many
That
different ways, but don't make an excuse for it. I've done it. I've been there before. I'm pretty sure Eric did when he was in the beginning stage and stuff way back in the day, in ancient times. But like even like I'm saying,
ancient times.
no,
Got your ancient times, let's say.
I know, but you know what I'm
I'm
saying,
just
man. And
kidding.
we've all had
That's
our
funny.
ups and downs. We all had our reasons to like want
Yeah.
to find a way out to not do it, like an excuse or, oh, I'm so tired. Or, would it be weird if I'm messaging people about their property at this time of night? Yeah, on a text message, like, don't do that. On a phone call, don't do that. But send them send them an email,
Yeah.
and then follow up with a text message and a phone call and stuff later on that day if you don't get a response from them, by
Right?
around noontime or something like that. And then go
Exactly.
from there.
Exactly. No, you're absolutely right. And we're not all the same at the end of the day. And excuses, as I always say, right? You can have excuses or results. You can't have both. So there's no reason for it not to. I've done it. Uh, Coming on up, even though I had the corporate gig, did my stuff, and nobody knows my story. It's okay. One day you'll hear it. But at the end of the day, is yeah, I have 3 kids too, right? I had to
Yep.
take care of the kids, had to go to work, had to do all this good stuff, drop them off, pick them up. In between all that, yeah, working on this thing, right? The phone, and then have my bag and take my laptop wherever I go. Yes, and back in the day when I got started, I had a little freaking minivan, and I'd park in a parking lot, and I'd break out the hotspot, and I'd break out the laptop and my phone, and I get to work, right? And then I did what I needed to do. Any waking hour that I had on over and above my job, I would spend in real estate because I was dedicated to doing that. And I had to figure all these things that you don't have to figure out, that been shared with you, Victor, and others across the United States of America, all past, present, future mentees that we work with. Didn't have to figure that out, right? Didn't have to go through the bullshit that I did or others have gone through to go, you know what? Hey, does this work? Do I try this? Do I try this? Do I do this? Do I do that? And then once you have the template, see, you work what you do with the tools that you have, you work them to your advantage, right? To what you're best at and what you feel is best for your schedule. That's why Victor says, hey, there's no excuse. Hey, I'm a night owl. I'm a freaking vampire. That's when I'm alive, right? Yeah, I'll have 20,000 tabs open. I got this one, this one. Maybe I'm cracking up on some, TikTok and some YouTube or whatever you're researching. But at the same token, you're still going, oh, there's a good one. Shit, let me do that one. Copy, paste, boom, gone, right? Get your 5, 10 out of the way. If you can do 10 or 15, maybe even 20 a day, guarantee you your phone's going to explode. It's going to happen. You're going to have like probably 120 something leads within a month or more, right? You may send out a bunch of replies. Who cares, right? It's email, and then at the time when they start working, you send them that second template in email, get the address, get the telephone number. Then you start moving it off of email onto the text so you can get a little more personal, right? And then start working that lead, get them on the phone, set the appointment, lead to appointment, right? Then to an offer, then to a deal. Once you got that deal, boom, start pushing it, moving it, building your buyers list, and then get that sucker sold, right? That process works. It sounds easy. It is easy. It's easy peasy if you just do it. But definitely jump on there. There's a link down below. You can also scan that QR code right there. I'm doing I put my mug up here. Scan that right there. Whoop, there it is. Scan the QR code. It's absolutely free. Boink, boink. You can also jump into the free Facebook group right there. Post your deals. Or if you're looking for deals, definitely reach out. Ask for help. Share the deals. There's deals in that group, and people are posting. It's pretty cool. It's growing pretty
Yeah,
fast, little by
everybody,
little.
check out that QR code. I mean, for everybody who's in here right now, do that QR code. Check it out. If you know anybody else who's even spoken or talked about or even had the idea or thought of wanting to get into any type of real estate, whether it's investing or being an agent or just like wanting to be a bird dog or anything, or just even wanting to hear what it's all about and where they can probably fit in, just have them reach out or just contact us, or just come to the streams and stuff, to the lives that we do. Obviously, Eric does them all the time. When I can, I pop in with him. Um, and it's always awesome to just hop in and everything. We're constantly doing deals. Like you said, bring deals to the table. We might have buyers already and stuff, or you might not be able to know how to handle that property or that deal. Not saying anything against you and your skills. Don't take it the wrong way. I'm being full transparent with you and stuff about it. And I'm speaking to everybody like this because I want you guys to know things happen. You might not know how to do certain deals. You may not be able to come up with the funding or the capital, and there's other things that we can do that we can put in place, like subject to agency financing, or seeing if they do seller financing, or if we do have to go all cash. If we bring in other investors to help us and stuff like that, or we might have a buyer looking in your area. So it's not going to hurt you hitting that QR code and sharing it. It's not going to hurt sharing this stream or this show. It's going to benefit you guys. So I suggest you guys, like, take a little bit of initiative and action. If you haven't today, do it now.
True. Amen, brother. That's what it's all about. It really is, man. And just taking action, 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 action. You can study, research, watch all the videos all day long. Sit there for 2 hours going, I'm going to make this call. 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 And then 2 hours went by. Shit, you could have just hammered 2 hours worth of calls, and you probably would have been start talking to some sellers, right? That's how
Yeah.
it works. Everything works with action, man, including faith, man. It's like they say, faith and prayers are dead without action. You got to act. That's not how it goes, but you know what I'm saying. But hey, I love
Yeah.
that. Everything you said there is perfect. Definitely take advantage of it. Straight to the point. It does not even cost you a dime for any of that. It's actually going to help you. I want to push on to the. I'll leave that there for a little bit. We got check the chat as well. We got number 4. We got who they got there. What is that? Let me check something real quick. Hey, we got Spencer. I'm gonna pop him on here. Hey, Spencer, you there?
Hey, what's up, Eric?
Hey, what's up, Mr. Spencer, Mr. Texas?
Hey, yes,
I'm gonna
sir.
put your butt up here. Let me see where you're at. All right, let's go and do this real quick. We'll go to the Saturday training. How's your day going?
Good. Yeah, it's going.
Good. Hey, Victor, meet Spencer. Spencer, meet Victor. We got Victor on here. He's kind of sharing his wisdom on the submission. The mission is a submission, which you're now experiencing now, right, brother? Getting them
Yes, sir.
leads.
Absolutely.
Cool. So how are things going, man? Appreciate you jumping on. We appreciate that.
No, yeah, they're going good. We
Hey, I
got
like that car, man. I like that. What's that? A white headset? What you got back there?
yeah,
Can't
white
see
leather.
really. Kind of dark. Huh?
White
That
leather,
show.
yeah.
Yeah, it looks nice, man.
Uh, yeah, we're working on a couple things. We got a couple that we're trying to take down, right? I
hmm
got quite a few people responding to me today that I'm trying to turn into submissions. So it's been
Awesome.
going good so far. And I think there's
Good,
one
good.
guy in there who probably put the submission in himself without me even calling him.
There you go.
That,
I
that
love that.
happens.
That's like yeah, that's like a testimony in itself. There's always those ones that come down the wire to fill it out 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 in the afternoon. Like, hey, that's even better, right?
Absolutely.
That's proof in the pudding. Appreciate it. Yeah. So we'll double check that, make sure it gets out to you, and we'll double check. So you know where that guy is possibly at, or is it Dallas Fort Worth? Obviously, right?
Yeah, yeah, he's in Fort Worth.
Cool. And he's is it like is it from Surfing for Deals?
Yep, surfing from deals.
Okay, cool. And you're hitting some of the obviously you're hitting different huh?
I didn't say anything.
I'm sorry. Oh, you didn't? Oh, fuck! I'm hearing shit. Uh oh. Do 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 do. Twilight Zone, bro. Is what do you call it? Ghosts in the Machines. No, I'm just kidding. My wife hates that shit. Oh, stop that shit. It's something. It's the universe. Right? But hey, I jumped. I like that car, man. What do you drive? What is that?
This is an Acura ZDX.
Damn, how fast does it go?
Fast. There's a limiter, unfortunately, but it goes fast.
Oh, is there a governor on it?
Yeah, governor. Yeah.
Okay, how what is it?
Like a buck
Speed.
20.
Okay, that's cool. All right. Have you taken? Probably shouldn't say anything, right? Get you in trouble, but you'll be all right,
Of
right? It's
course
your
not. I've
car,
never taken it that fast. I go the speed limit just like every law-abiding citizen.
right? That's awesome, man. All right, cool. Yeah, thanks for jumping on here at the end of the day too, man. I know we chatted. We'll talk a little bit when we get off here. Made those phone calls, to some of the leads you had and surfing for deals. I know we got that Texas stuff out there and some rentals that are coming down the wire. So awesome,
Yep.
great job. I know I always talk about the anomaly that you had when you kind of jumped in. You're ready for it. You're fired up. Took action, moved forward, and then boom! It doesn't always happen for everybody as fast as you almost went skip some steps, and we had to kind of play catch up to get everything going to solidify
Right.
that deal, right? And that was like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days. And then you know how it goes, right? We all life happens, things happen, we keep moving forward, and then we can put some more stuff in the pipeline. So I'm glad that you're on here. I'm glad that you're sharing, man. And let's keep on rocking and rolling together. Wanted to share a little bit. We got the Saturday tomorrow. We got a little bit of Saturday training, and I know that your schedule. So I do appreciate your time because I know your schedule is like crazy, man. And so that's kind of like a testament to saying, look, it doesn't matter what your damn schedule is. Can you do this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, absolutely. That's it, man. So I know the great things are gonna be happening with Spencer as he keeps on moving forward and doing the business. I'm going to share a couple of things with you real quick. I want to go ahead and share. I believe it's this. And let me see. We got Saturday training. What we got? I was going to ask you a question. Are you free? Or are you like ordering some McDonald's or something? I'm just kidding.
No, I'm just in the parking lot, honestly.
Okay, cool. Did you just get off your gig?
I did, yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. I was going to share this hot deals in the prop. Now, I know that you're using Property Radar, right?
Right.
How do you like Property Radar?
I like it so far. I mean, it definitely takes a lot more touches than the surfing for deals. At least so far what I've experienced.
Are you talking about data, right?
Yeah.
Pulling the data, reaching out to them?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because that's what I like to call it. It's a separate vertical, right? So, and I'll put you back up here. I'm going to share what we're doing with the mortgage stuff in real estate, but I'll put this up here real quick. See if I can move it. I'm going to move it to maybe here. Let's do that. There you go. Oh, got to move it back. Okay, where we at? right. There you go. Okay, cool. And then Victor, if you want to interject at all and all that other good stuff, man, just definitely tap in. But on the property radar stuff, obviously, first vertical surfing for deals. That's to get you in the market. As you can see, it gets and Victor was talking about it earlier today. Gets you into the market very quickly and fast because they're actually wanting to sell, right? And then property radar. What I was asking is like, how do you like it? How does the user interface look? Is the data good? Which I know the question too, but I just wanted to see what you think. At the end of the day, with the data, like how accurate is it? How is the skip tracing? Do they? I like the way it puts all its information in a PDF because I think you're asking. I say, hey man, send that PDF. Oh,
Yeah.
well, what do we need that for? Well, because it puts it in one little package. You got a copy, we got a copy. Let's work it together. And then even when we talk with the seller, I like to pull up that PDF. Right? Because everything's right there. I don't have to go and look at this. Oh, let me click that tab, and it's right there in one shot. And then we can go, hey, you're in default this amount. What's the transaction history? What happened with them and all that good stuff. And then you can still have another tab opened up with the property, right? And then your numbers. So I like that about Property Radar. But as far as like, I think what we're saying is that it's you got to touch it more because you're obviously making the phone calls, right? Or you haven't made any phone calls yet off of the list you pulled?
No, not yet.
Okay, so mainly
Just been doing texts to those. Yeah.
Okay, so and you're doing it, manually, because that's your choice for right now. That's what I like to call a second vertical, which is data, pulling data to lead generate, and you getting acclimated with the text messaging, knowing what's there, and then eventually you're gonna have to make those calls, right? And then we're kind of moving forward in that manner. Usually it's usually we're gonna like there's a method to the madness, right? You make all the calls, call, clean the list, and then you're just going, hey, this is a clean list. Now I'm going to text blast them all because those numbers belong to those people. And then you're texting them. And usually they're going to respond a lot quicker because it is them. And then depending on the text messages that you're rolling through, right, you're going to boom, here's the text. Are you interested in selling? And then shoot them with a different text and a different text to the respond back. Usually there's a machine that we talked about, right, a CRM, which we're going to plug in after. So then those people will start raising their hand. We are talking about that earlier. Like I said, it might be the middle finger emoji, right? And they're like, "Hey, fuck you," or the $1 million property for the $500,000 shack, or I'm not selling the property, or no one's going to buy my house, or blah 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 blah. Depending on the type of data you're working on. But I know that when you're surfing for deals, you're getting like a killer. It's usually like 30-35% response rate, but you're getting what you said, almost like 60%.
Yeah, somewhere between 50 and 60%.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Because then that whole list I think you got is going to be is gold. We just got to keep working it and hammering it down, and then going from there. And then starting. And I don't know. At your gig, do you make calls? Cold calls?
Absolutely, yeah. I make a bunch.
Oh, you do? Okay. So then, with the data you have, is there any reason you haven't made any calls? I'm gonna put you on the spot a little bit.
So the biggest thing for me is it's hard to do both. Like if they overhear me at work doing not work related calls.
Oh, I know what you're saying. Never mind. Yeah, we talked about that. Sorry about that, brother. Yeah.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah. It's easier to do what you're doing under boom, send it out, text, and then which we're gonna work on, right, with the CRM and having that all automated. So then when you're responding back to the ones that are saying, hey, I raised my hand, I'm interested in something, right? And then you can kind of gradually work them until you get off work, like right now, get on the horn, set the appointment, get the full submission, and then either make them an offer contingent upon inspection while you're on, right there, or set up the appointment for the next day or the day that you're going to be off work, along with myself to help you lock up that deal. It's usually how it would rock, right? So, but as far as the data, what do you think? I mean, what do you think of the response rate with like the text? Because you said it's been a little bit, they're not responding back. So you think maybe it's the skip tracing, or is it the data that you're actually calling, or not calling but texting when you pull it?
I'm honestly not entirely sure.
Okay, we're gonna figure that out.
It might be a skip tracing because I'm using the property radar skip tracing in there.
Yeah.
I think out of what I've done, maybe 60 now up to this point. I had one reply, and so maybe it's a combination of volume or maybe it's the data. I don't believe that's the case.
Yeah, I think the
Maybe
data is
it's
good
just the
because Property Radar data is pretty good. It's almost comparable to like Deal Machine. Like they give you, you get like, I'm pretty sure, I think could be different or it could be wrong now, but it's like a lot of data, right? They'll tell you like, who their daughter is, their cousin, what type of work they have. It's almost like a background check, right?
a little bit. Yeah, it gives you a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, a lot of stuff, right? So you can kind of get a feel of what's going on with that seller and what they're about. And then, but I do, yeah, I think, yeah, it might be I know that for pre foreclosures, Deal Machines not it's a day late, dollar short, and Property Radar might be maybe a little iffy. I know Prop Wire is a little iffy. Prop Stream's just horrible with skip tracing. Batch is kind of like a 50-50, right? But that's where you got to like take that list, upload it to Batch, and then pay the little 10, 15, 20 cents a record. But they're going to give you 7 freaking numbers, right? That's a lot more to work with. We like to use the REI Reply and Skip Butler, and they give you the first top 3. So it might be landline, or it might be a cell phone, landline, voice over IP, and an email if it's available. And then, we just call those top 3. And so far, they've been hitting, right? It works, Some people are saying, hey, lose my number. Don't text me anymore, right? Okay, cool. Puts them on the do not whatever list, right? And then the ones that are, they can tell. They're either coming back with a smart ass remark, right? And then it's their problem.
Right.
Yeah. Or they're like, yeah, hey, can I was thinking about it. How can you help me? Or what's the offer? Boom. That's all we need to see, right? And for me, and Victor knows this, as long as they raise their hand in some way, whether it's good, bad, negative, it doesn't matter. You raise your hand, then, the shark, it's like a shark, right, brother? We talk about that too, man. Your eyes rolling back.
Oh, yeah.
Boom, I'm going to lock in, not going to let you go, and we keep moving forward. Some people are a little soft when you get on the phone and, okay, well, we'll call you tomorrow and this and that, or, I'm busy right now. Okay, well, I'll see you later. No, stay on that phone until they hang up on your ass or ask for permission and keep on rolling. I know you know this, and so does Victor. Is that you keep talking. A couple more minutes, I'll be done pretty soon. You keep rolling, open-ended questions, tie downs, sales 101 stuff. And obviously you're from the sales world, brother, right? So you know this stuff. What's the transition? I'm not going to, you have to mention what you do for a living or anything like that, but it's totally up to you. But at the end of the day, you do sales and noticing the difference in how you have been selling and how we're doing this. I know there's tapping in. There's a few times we got to tap in some more stuff with some more, right? In regards to actually learning the art of the deal and the Amplified method, and and then selling and having them drop them seeds and them selling us. The mechanics, and you've probably seen some of this in what you do already, right? How are you feeling about the real estate, making that transition into real estate? And I know you're super excited, and I'm excited for you. A lot of potential for you at the end of the day, brother, and along with Victor and everybody else. But share that with me.
Definitely excited. I feel like there's definitely a lot of similarities, a few small differences because it's a different kind of selling, but a lot of the principles are the same. Like you were saying, as long as they raise their hand, any response is better than no response. And you kind of smell that blood in the water and gets all excited and happy. It's definitely higher ticket selling than I'm used to.
Yeah.
And it's more trust building. Because I'm okay to admit it, I do car sales, right? Okay. And I'm used to everybody thinks, or maybe won't say it in a minute, but they think, oh, I'm just a dirty car salesman, right? That's always the
hey,
the
it used to be like that for agents about 20, 25 years ago. They're actually underneath car salesmen. Car salesmen were higher than real estate agents at one time. And then they formed and put together the real estate, realtor.com with that bullshit, National Association of Realtors. And then they spent a lot of money in lobbying to change the outlook, right? But, that's just funny that you say that. But no, man, sales, and I think the part that I like there is that it's trust. High trust selling is the real estate side, right? And building that relationships with them. And even though, they're going to come and buy more cars from you and family and stuff, right? It's still relationship selling, or at the end of the day. But it's a wonderful thing, and you probably see it too when if you do it right and you drop the seeds there on the table, and then what you eventually would do, you'll start seeing them going, yeah, hey, can you do this for me and do this for me and do this for me? But you drop those seeds on the table, and then it becomes their idea, right? That's the Amplified method. And then they're going, yeah, can you pay off my car and credit cards, and maybe you give me 10,000 or 15,000 or 20,000, or whatever it may be. Like when we're negotiating these other rentals, right? And then figuring out what's going to work. And then they're selling us. When they're selling us, then we're rock and rolling. We drop the ego and say, man, that's a great idea, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, right? And you want me to do what?
Right.
Even sometimes it's a little bit about dumbing it down. You want me to do what? Spencer, what? Victor, what? Pay off how much? You know what's going on, because when we go in there, we know exactly offer 1, 2, and 3. We're going to know whether we're going to go with some terms. What is it? Some cash now, some cash later. Or is it going to be an option? I know you've tossed out an option here. I think you just needed some help with that, because that's probably going to be for that one. It's going to be in their best interest, right? We just have to get on the phone together, pitch it to the person. And that's even if we want to take it down. It doesn't matter, because remember, an option is what? 1 pager. We put a date on it, and that's it, and a number. And if we can get it done, we have a piece of paper to sell. And if we can sell that, great. If not, it's okay. Well, if they sell it, we just tear it up. We don't care. But it brings in inventory, which brings in momentum, right? And I guarantee if we can pitch it to that guy correctly, so he understands that, where he's still going to get paid and the people are going to get paid. And here's the number. How does that all work? You can sign this. You're not, even if you get a seller, who cares? It's okay. We'll tear it up. We're not going to take you to court and hound you and shit, right? It's almost like we're doing them a favor, and we're going to help them out. And we're going to use all our resources, websites, marketing, this and that. It's on our dime. So why you have to be an idiot not to say yes, right?
Right. What do you have to lose?
What do you have to lose? Exactly. And then get us, so we can actually, if you go out there, view it, pictures. What it does too, it brings inventory. And if you get it sold, hey, you make a couple of bucks. At the end of the day, what's it going to do? It's going to get you more buyers, right? Because it gives you an excuse to talk more. You got some inventory. Well, maybe you don't like that. Well, maybe it's buy and hold, some fix and flip. It's okay. Well, what else do you need? Reverse engineer. Go hunt what they want now, right? Because now you know how we do it, right, guys? We vet them. We vet the buyers. We want to know, what's your criteria? What are you working with? How many deals can you handle a month, right? What's your return on investment? What is it? Cash, numbers, 10%, 15, 10,000, 50, 10,000, 20, 30, 40, 50,000. What is it? See, it all comes together, right?
Yeah.
And that's still that, there's more of that when you do more of those submissions, and Victor attests to this, he knows this, when you do more submissions, right, you're forced to do what? To start moving towards, right, the Amplified method and understanding that part, because you're going through the role and you're going to hear it. It's downloaded into your mind, brother. We talked about that several times too, right? So I'm excited to see what else is going to come out of Texas and obviously the other states that we're working in. As far as that data, have we were able to pull more data, or are you still working on those lists that you pulled?
Yeah, I have pulled one other list of about 40 or 50 houses.
Oh, okay. How did it look?
Did I lose you?
No, I'm here. How did it look? It just kind of froze a little bit.
It looked decent. I was doing inner city parts of Fort Worth here.
Okay, cool.
So where I felt like there's going to be more foreclosures, because it's not as affluent part of town.
Yeah, kind of like a little middle of the road, but you'll be surprised. There's luxury properties, and those go into pre-foreclosure too. I would think, and that's cool that you're going to target those areas. My suggestion is you go with pre-foreclosures, go with the dates, depending, because Texas is a little bit different, right? Any pre-foreclosure is going to be a possible deal, because you're going to have a solution for them. You may not know that now, because you're still earlier in the game, but I guarantee it that every pre-foreclosure, if there's a situation and there's equity and they're flexible, we can work a deal. Wholesale, cash, sub-2, seller finance, doesn't matter, right? Whether it's 200,000 or 2 million, brother. And don't let those extra zeros, freak you out. Or maybe you're thinking there's not as many, right? Maybe that's what you're thinking. There's not as many coming up.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Not quite as many for the higher ones.
Okay,
I know
have you
everybody
ran
makes
those yet
poor
though?
financial choices.
Have you
What's
ran
that?
have you ran anything like that in those areas or no?
I've done some of the nicer areas, but no, not like the $1 million, $2 million properties.
Well, I mean, just anything like in the areas. It's usually the zip codes. You got good areas, you got the bad areas. This side railroad tracks, that side railroad tracks. Like for example, if we're doing like Riverside, I can go. We can, or I can pick out a bunch of zip codes and say this is where we want to buy, and people do that. I get it, but it's San Bernardino, man. It don't matter. It's California, so we'll go San Bernardino. We'll maybe pick some hot spots, but then I say just pull the whole fucking county, right? Pull the whole county, and it may be 4, 5, 6, 7, 800 properties. And we're gonna work them all. I don't care if it's a
Right.
$200,000 property, a piece of dirt, a shack, a multi-million-dollar property. Who gives a shit? They're all, everybody puts on their pants the same way to a degree. Yeah, they may be more savvy, but they're having issues, right? What's going on? Instead of maybe 20,000 or 40,000 behind the back payments, they might be 200,000 or 300,000, right? But but there's a lot of equity, and yeah, they're more savvy. They could be more, egotistical and things of that nature. But it doesn't matter, man. When you connect with people and they need help, and vice versa, if they think you can help them, they will. And yeah, I've done that with Newport Beach, right? And like, oh, after first it's like a battle, pissing contest, right? Oh, well, this, and you know where I live, and yeah, I know where you live. I don't care. You want to sell the property? You going to make up the back payments? You going to take care of this? What are you doing, right? Of course, after the call, we're friends and shit, right? And then we're connecting. And then if we can help them, great, But yeah, they may not move forward with you, but sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes they figure it out. Sometimes they're just really, really stubborn. And then others are like, man, yeah, just give me an offer. Let's rock it. Let's do it. Whatever, because they're entrepreneurs, right? They're business owners. They understand that, hey, I'll get the hell out of here so I can go do this and start rebuilding again, right? It's just a house, unless it's a business of some sort, right? That's different. But yeah, don't be afraid of that stuff, man. I'd say just pull everything, and I get it. If you want to niche it down, do you feel more comfortable niching it down? Oh, we lost him. Whoop. All right. I think so. Maybe. No, I don't know. Oh, there he is.
I think he might
All
have
right.
dropped off. Oh, there
Are
he
you back?
goes.
Oh, you're rolling in? Rolling into your office, bro? All
Yeah, rolling in.
right. All right, man. Anything to say, Victor?
No,
Okay.
it's nice to meet you, Spencer. I heard a lot about you. I've been talking with Eric and stuff like that, man. I see you're out there in the Texas area.
Yes, sir. Nice to meet you too.
Nice to meet you, man. Yeah, Eric's awesome, man. I've been rocking around with him and Liz and the whole AHA team for close to almost 6 years. It's gonna be 6 years now, huh, Eric? About six?
Probably. I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
been a long
probably.
time.
I'll take your word for it, bro. I'm like, I'm an older guy. See, I stopped. It's kind of like when you get to 40. For some people, they go, hey, and this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but it's about time for me, anyways. Right? 6 years, 20 years. Hey, like you, know you, family, brother. Everybody's gonna become family with us as we move forward into this game, and that's the beautiful thing. When I was 40
Yeah.
years old, I stopped counting. So like, and I don't, I'll be honest with you, I still don't know how old I am unless I, figure out my age and then, do a little calculator action and go, oh, fuck. Okay. Damn, you're getting old, bro. So I don't like to think about that. But time is time, brother. Right. It's been a while. Yeah. Victor gets in there and digs in. He does this thing. At the end of the day, when he sets his foot in there and starts calling and getting deals, then it's a beautiful, lovely thing. That's why he's here to help out. And when we need help with stuff, and he's part of the family, man. Just like everybody else comes aboard, works with us. Eventually, you need to come into the core, which obviously, you have your business and you're doing some other side gigs, and not side gigs, but your businesses. Real estate is to help build that legacy, and that's what you're here to do, man. And I know about your family,
Yep.
and you know how we work things, man. It's all about taking care of each other, the integrity, the loyalty, and communication, as I always say, can break down, and that happens. We repair that, but when the other two, and so far, Victor has not broke any of those things, so that's why he's still here and why I'm still here, because I've never let his butt down and broke any of those covenants, right? And we know how that stuff
Right.
is. That's the most important thing in anybody. And that's just my personal opinion, how I like to work with people. And that's why my core is always smaller. at the end of the day, and I like it that way. But yeah, man, Victor's been with us for a while. We're rocking and rolling, doing stuff, and he's here to help out, sell, mentor, all that good stuff, coach when needed. And even making calls. He's not in Southern California, but he's like, shit, man. I know that if I'm making those calls out there, we're gonna close and we're gonna do what we need to do. So he's like, shit, no problem. What do you need? Oh, we're working SoCal. We want to hit that market. We need some people. Are you willing to train some of the people as well? Even the same stuff, that in your area, man. All right, let's get that door knocking team. And let's put those people on and boots on the ground. Let's rock it, right? Because there's opportunities there. And same for Spencer, right? I know we've had that conversation too. I know he's gonna make that leap of faith eventually. Wherever we got to do, we make it happen, man. Just knowing that integrity and loyalty is the most important. Communication could break down and be repaired. First two cannot. So that's why we're here, and I appreciate you guys being here. And and this anybody who watches this, watch it backwards, forwards. There's always going to be some awesome truths and truth bombs, F bombs, S bombs as well. That's just the way we roll. If you don't like it, plug your ears. Or if you get offended, then boop, scroll to something else at the end of the day. It's all good. But it's all about being truthful, man. And of course, God. I'm not a holy roller, as people know, but I know that you guys have God in your lives as well. And that's what keeps us all rolling, right? So you got to have something to believe in, your family and passion, and that's why we're here, spending time. That's why you're here, spending time. That's why anybody's going to even watch this stuff, right? And say, hey, okay, maybe I want to do this. Maybe I can. I know you can. Anybody out there, they can do it. Trust me. But they need some help, need some guidance. You need to have like-minded people to make things happen, right? So I'm going to do a little commercial break here with this. Graphic we got here. Spencer, if you've never met Miss Elizabeth, that's Miss Elizabeth there with the brokerage. So we do have a brokerage, VIP Execs Realty and Lending, Step into Excellence, where it's all real estate, lending, traditional, private money in Southern California. So if there's anybody out there who needs some luxury property or looking to sell luxury property or buy or sell property, investors, doesn't matter, or looking to refi some of that cash out to start your business or finish up your project. Like we were talking with a young man in, I think it was Upland or something, worked in the meat department 25 years. I asked him to cut up some chickens. I think I shared the story with you, Spencer. But because I was supposed to make some roasted compollo, right? I don't make any Mexican food. So but I'm like, how do I do that shit? Well, Dad, you can get a recipe online. I said, oh shit, really? Okay, cool. So I said, roasted compollo. What the hell is that? And said, rice and some chicken, some I think Cuban type of dish. I'm like, shit, all right. So I'm recruited every Sunday to make a dinner for my family exclusively, and they can't help me. I got to do it all, which is cool. I get it. It's therapeutic, I guess. So, we're at Sprouts, get some organic birds. Lady says, they'll cut them up for you. I said, really? Oh, okay, cool. Because I was going to do it myself and do the chop, right? Cut all that shit up and clean the bird. Took it back there to the meat guy. He chopped it all up. And what got me is that, hey, he could have said, oh, no, we don't do that, or ignore me, because that it's going to be where else this guy wants something cut up for free. I don't got time for that, right? I got to close up the shop and do this stuff. He already knew. His integrity and loyalty are there because he's like, man, this is my job. This is what I do, and I'm going to be the best at what I do. Yeah, no problem. I can take care of that for you. Cool, really? Thank you. Boom, I gave it to him. Went back there, chopped it all up. I go, I like this guy. I think I'm going to see if he needs some help. Maybe see what he's about. See if he's a good guy. See if we want to work with him in some capacity. And then he told me, came back out. I said, here, man, I appreciate you. Here's my card. I put some money underneath it and stuff, and just, hey, gave it to him. Not supposed to take money or any of that stuff, but, and just give him my card. So here's my card. Appreciate it. Check it out. Give me a call if you ever want to get into real estate. Oh, I don't have money for that. I said, don't worry about it, man. You're not going to need any money the way I'm going to share with you on how you can. Do you own a property? Yeah, I do. I've owned it for a while. Have my daughter. He's always working on it. And then his entrepreneur dream. Yeah, I want to make sausages, man. I want to make sausages and sell them. So I said, to me, that's funny, but to him, it's a dream. I said, cool. Let's do it, man. Because he saw someone else doing it. I saw someone else doing on it. And they're making them. And they didn't have a license or anything, right? But he got on social media, set his thing up at a fucking, I don't know, park or something. And people were standing in line to get his food or whatever the hell he was selling. Like, well, that's the beauty of social media now, right? And to me, it was like, okay, well, you're an entrepreneur and you're stuck at this gig. How long you been here? 25 years. You going to retire? Yeah, pretty soon. because someone gave him a shot, right? Because he was working in I guess one of those plants where they, the slaughterhouses, making $16 an hour. And then he went and interviewed with this guy for the meat department at some company. I forgot what it was. And he was making, it was 30, $35. He goes, man, that kind of blew him away. He stood there forever. And now he's still there. And I said, man, give me a call. Let's touch base. We'll get some coffee. And that's the beauty of networking, right? It can be done anywhere. No excuse. You don't need any excuse. Oh, I don't know about this. I don't know about that. Yeah, give them a card. Write down your number. Hey, put your, the MLS thing, right? That they teach you if you ever did multi-level marketing. Yeah, put your number right in there. Here you go. And then don't move until he grabs the phone or she grabs the phone and get that number. It's networking. And that would be my challenge to anybody out there, including you guys, man. Get five networking, five people you connect with every single day, right? It doesn't matter who they are, potential people that could be in your business or you can help in some way. And then go out and try to find, at least 3 or 4 or 5, investors. You can do it every single day. And people go, well, I don't got time for that. Sure you do. And every day, whatever you're doing every single day, that you can always, there's something you can do, right? But at least there's a goal to attain, and it's going to help you with your business, right? And with that guy, he's going to, I guarantee you, once we start working together, he can do something with it. He goes, no, I got a good interest rate, and a 2 point something or whatever. I say, cool. But he wants to fix up his house and he wants to make some money. So I go, well, it's going to be real estate, bro. So let's touch base, and go from there. But the moral of the story is that people are everywhere, and you never know what's going to happen. Heck, you might be able to recruit him and turn him into an agent, at the end of the day. Or maybe it's going to be a real estate investor. Or he may turn into being, I don't want to do any of that. I want to spend time with my family. I want to spend time with my wife. I want to fix up my house, and I want to make sausages. All right, cool. Write a check, and we'll turn you into a friendship deal investor, right? You write a check, we get a check back to you for investing in real estate that we're going to be doing in Southern California. And I know we talked about that, Spencer, right? And I know you're like fired up about that, and that's cool. That's what we're going to do in Texas, man. And I know Dallas, there's a lot of freaking money in Dallas, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah, tons of it, man. And so we'll get into that and start moving towards that. And same thing for you, Victor, anybody else that sees this, right? It's all about just understanding and moving forward and taking advantage of those things that are going to help you with the business. But that's Miss Elizabeth, VIP exec, sponsors this stuff and the video and things of that nature and TV, whatever we're doing here, any type of marketing. It's VIP execs, realty and lending, step into excellence. So if anybody out there decides they want to get a real estate license, definitely reach out. Or you have a license and you want a home and you want to get the best of both worlds, public sector and then the private sector, because a lot of real estate agents don't even understand this side, which is the private sector, which is a shame because they're considered real estate professionals. And then you got to spend money, and then you got to take a test, and then you got to be considered a professional to do what? To pretty much know nothing, right? That's the typical government stuff, right? You're an expert and you're a professional, but you don't know jack about real estate when you get started. That's why everybody starts off as a buyer's agent, and then they usually spin their wheels for about 2 years looking for a brokerage to hang their license with or stay with because they say they're going to give them training and it never happens. You'll get that with us, right? But it is she's selective like myself. Don't want to work with just anybody and everybody because then it just becomes, I get it, sales. You got to go through, you got to turn. But we're not trying to turn widgets, right? And we're trying to help you, others, with their legacy, right? That's the connection between us all. And Spencer knows that, Victor knows that, others we work with knows that, Lily and people are going to look. We all want the same stuff, right? We want to be successful. We want to build a legacy, and we want to follow our dreams at the end of the day, right? That's the thing that's, I guess, been kind of tossed away, right? But I'm saying with the current administration, hey, we're getting back to Made in America. That's what it's about, right? Let's get back to Made in America, do what we need to do, and and follow forward and follow through with the things that we're doing. But that's Miss Elizabeth. Wanted to share that real quick. Yes, I got my little mug up here. I'm going to share this one too. So, I'm more involved in the creative real estate or that private sector. Picture's a little small. Yeah, we got Inform America. That's another news type thing in regards to what's going on with the world and government and all kinds of other stuff. I like your flag back there, brother.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. So you'll appreciate this right here. So a lot of like that crazy meme you posted, right? I took it, reposted.
Yep.
All day long. This is where stuff like that goes. So if you're into it and you love your country, Inform America. But it's VIP Execs Realty and Lending, man. Short sales, doesn't matter, probate, fix, flips, buy, holds, all that good stuff. Obviously, You guys know who I am, but for people who don't, Erick Jimenez, yep, got the good old red, white, and blue across the table there. AHA, Americans how Americans, one American time, one property time, one family at a time. And you know that's what we'll be doing. My goal is to help you guys build your brands. But in the beginning, we're always rocking and rolling on the brand in the beginning so we can get you up and running. I wanted to share this with you. Obviously, you know what's going on here, guys, with this is, the submission form, right? And it works. That's the thing. And you guys know the numbers now, right? Is what you got to do to get those submissions so you can turn them into those bags of gold and obviously rock and roll. Now, willing to go ahead and we talked about this because I know you need some leverage here, Spencer, as well, right? So you need some bodies and stuff. And instead of the VAs or trying to hire people, right? We have some internal peeps that can, make those phone calls at the same token, right? And even Victor's willing to make some calls. We've had it done before, right? Where it's like, hey, this list is not working. Or there's nothing going on here. And then Victor calls for like 2 hours and we end up getting a deal or two, right? So it's not that it doesn't work. It's just probably the process or what people are doing. Not you, Spencer, in particular, but it happens in general with others, right? Because they're maybe skipping a step or not doing something. Or maybe it's just, they're just not doing it, right? Sometimes people say they're doing stuff and they don't. I get it, right? I'll be, it is what it is, with that. But this is super important. The goal here today was the mission is the submission. This is how important it is, right? That's your money right there, right? We already know what happens. We've been training on it. We know it works. You go and do it. You learn the art of the deal, the amplified method, and it's to build up that pipeline. Once we get that pipeline lined out, right? And then we start pushing it because you know how it is. When you babysit a deal and you're waiting for something or maybe waiting for it to close, isn't it beautiful when you don't have to because you got several deals in the pipeline, which is starting to happen now, right, Miss Spencer?
Yes, sir. Yeah, getting
Yeah,
there.
and you're not taking how much time, man? I mean, really, how much time are you really spending?
Probably somewhere between 10 and 20 hours a week.
Okay.
Normally,
So
probably on the lower end.
probably on the lower end, right? I would safely say too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. But you do know if you turned it up, you blow this shit up, right?
absolutely.
Absolutely, exactly. And we're just kind of like the tip of the iceberg too. I mean, it's like kind of like still there's a lot more that's going to be dropped on the plate. But we also do it in a digestible manner, so it's not like, hey, boom, it's just shit on the plate and it overflows. You're going, shit. You know what I mean? Hey, hang tight. We got to clean all this up, and I don't know what are we doing here. I'm getting overwhelmed and frustrated. It makes no sense, right? To do that, we move forward as you're, as fast or as slow as you need to, man. But this is, and everybody gets one of these pages, and if you're internal, then we build it out for you, or Sweden does. Now check this out. Now this is something. This is actually from, I believe, I'll share it with you. It's from PropStream. We did do the skip tracing from Skip Butler, and I know that there's about 1,300 properties here in Southern California, and this is what's called the Inland Empire, right? It's San Bernardino County and Riverside County. And all these are properties, right? All over Riverside, San Bernardino, Corona. What do we got? Chino Hills, Montclair. All good areas, right? And some of these we have you can't really see it, but some of these are going to be pretty high priced. They're like they're okay for what their loans are, but now they probably exploded to even more, and they got equity. So the opportunity. I mean, these are all pre-foreclosures too. So they're either NODs and NOTs, right? Notice the defaults, notice the trustee sales in California. Texas is a different jam. They go straight to notice the trustee sales, and then they only got about 22 to 30 something days before they go to the auction. And either someone's going to buy them at the auction, or it's going to go back to the bank as an REO, right? Or it'll get postponed, or someone's going to do a bankruptcy, or they're going to do. I think there's there's two other moves that they can do that we'll probably share. I'll share with obviously Spencer knows this. If he doesn't, then we'll go over it again. Of slowing those down because we haven't got to that point yet. But when we get them, those will be part of our arsenal, right? To slow down the deal if we need to, or reinstate the loan, take it over, cash them out, whatever it may be, depending on the equity, right? So that's basically what we do here with these NODs is the same thing. So, but it's part of the surfing for deals. It's not surfing for deals. Part of the mission is the submission, right? We got to get mission. We got to get submissions on all these, right? Because if we don't, then we're not going to turn them into obviously money. And that's just the process, right? And there's several verticals and different verticals depending on where you're at in your business, right? You're going to surf for deals. You're going to work data. You're going to do postcards. You're going to do some pay-per-click. You're going to do some Facebook ads when you can afford it, but only after you're making money doing this, right? But these deals, if anybody's willing to and wanting to make some calls, even you, I know, Spencer, you probably don't have the time, right? Or Victor, jump on there and you know what needs to be done, because you know that if you got us on this side in Southern California, guarantee you we're going to close the deal. As long as you get that hot lead, do that submission, set up that second call with the appointment. And once we get that call, I'm going to be on the call, or Liz or someone's going to be to the point where, they got 15, 20 years in the business. We're going to lock that shit up. And we're either going to write the offer contingent upon inspection on the phone, or we're going to go to the property, go valley to valley, and get the best deal possible one way or another. We're going to walk out with some type of contract or a marketing agreement, an actual juicy contract, an option, sub-2, seller finance. And if none of that happens, we'll walk away and say, okay, well, maybe you can get you a loan. Then I'll hand them off to the brokerage, right? See if they can get you a loan or see if they can list the property. Same thing for you guys. Eventually, when we get there, Spencer and Victor, anybody, what I suggest is, you got to find the ones. And I know you have some connections out there, Spencer, like with what, agents and brokers, or I think I'm not sure if I recall, and I know Victor has been chatting with some as well. But I feel comfortable because I know who I'm dealing with, right? I know they'll get the shit done at the end of the day. And most agents, and not to shit on agents. If you see this and you watch this, you go, oh man, this guy hates agents, right? It's not that I don't. It's just that hey, you pick, I guess, your flavor, right? If you can tolerate and want to deal with that, then cool. I don't want to deal with egos and deal with, I know this, or you can't do this or that, or say I'm going to, do it, and then they don't. You gotta go for those unicorn agents that are hungry because they're new, or they're seasoned and they know what the hell's going on. The gatekeeper agents, forget it. They're probably good. Maybe even then, probably still. Are they going to get your shit sold? Are they going to share everything with you? And do they know the language of a real estate investor? If they don't, then it just becomes a big giant shit show at the end of the day. But have you been talking to any agents out there in Texas?
Yeah, I've been talking with a few.
How's that been going?
It's been going okay. I know I have quite a few that I've dealt with in the past, especially for my business, that have been clients of mine, and I'll hit them up constantly. Hey, any juicy fix and flips or multifamily or anything going on right now?
Yeah. Okay.
Try to get them to send me stuff.
And how's that been going?
Recently, not a lot, but in the past, I've had them send me things like some full rehabs that are gutted, or what did one other sell me or send me?
Something super overpriced, probably, and stuff, huh?
Yeah, usually. But hey, the price you see isn't always the price you pay.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. And how's that? How have you been vetting them, or just kind of like telling them, hey, send me shit?
Really the latter. Yeah, I'm telling them, hey, just send me shit.
Really? Okay. Maybe that's that'll get you shit. So with all due respect, right? And you know us, when we do so, you got to vet them. It takes a little bit of time, but it's worth it, because then you at least shit. You take them to coffee. You're probably gonna meet them at a meetup. You make a friend. Think of it as like a real estate agent can be like a doctor to you, right? You got a doctor, you got your main doctor, got your dentist or whatever. Your agent or real estate agent broker can become your friend if you build those relationships with them, right? And digging in a little bit and getting those unicorn agents to work for you, because they work for you, man, not the other way around. And they will burn out super quick. Well, I sent you 20 leads. I sent you 20 properties. And like you said, they're all shit. What am I going to do with that? There's enough for you to get paid, Mr. and Mrs. Agent, but how do I get paid, right?
Right.
How are we going to get paid? And so, and some, if they understand the game, and, which we're going to work on, like I said, when we get a little bit more time, when we get to that phase, and we're not even at that phase with the agent stuff, but you're doing it. See, that's Spencer, right? He gets, let me go for it. He goes for it. It's okay. But I don't want you to get frustrated, right? But, when you're talking to those people, we want to vet them, man. I want to make sure that they understand what type of deals to send you. There's going to be sub-2 deals. They're not going to know, but you're going to know the criteria-wise, right? Send me this so I can make some money. for the wholesale deals and the sub 2 deals, and maybe some rent to own lease options stuff, kind of like we're doing right now with that rental property in Texas,
Yeah.
right? It's the interest rate is juicy, cool. I like that. Good area, cool, right? Can we get in with minimum amount of dollars? Cool. Are we solving a problem for everybody? Yep. And knowing me, I don't really like the agent side, but if the agent's a unicorn agent and they're flexible and they're willing to listen to us and allow us to, make an offer to the seller, then we'll work together. Otherwise, the alternative is they won't make any money because it's a dead dog, right? There's no other way to do it except for the way that we're going to do it with creative real estate investing. And those are the ones you want, because then they will send you stuff, and eventually, they can turn into, some gold partners for you, right? But then going through it too could be frustrating, right? Man, looking at that, man, what the okay, these are all shit. And if that's happening, they go back to the agent and say, hey, look, this is what I'm looking for. Let me share a couple things with you if you got time, or maybe it's a cup of coffee, right? I say, yeah, I'll buy a cup of coffee. I want to chat with you. Check this out. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I want. Here's your terms. And if you send me that stuff, cool. If not, then that's okay too, right? They're going to go away anyways, right? But it keeps you from spinning wheels and, not having to look at a bunch of junk.
Yep.
And, that makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And there's a lot of agents, trust me, out there, man. And they want to make money. And, things have changed. Before it was like investors are the enemy. I'm not going to work with you. They're taking our deals. Wholesalers are stealing our market, blah, 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 blah. Now they're like, hey, I want to work with wholesalers. I want to work with investors. I want to work with the sub-tours and all that good stuff, right? Because you should. It's an opportunity. You're leaving money on the table, right?
Right.
And then some of them eventually get the bug. Fuck, I don't want to be an agent anymore. I want to do what they're doing. You know what I mean? They don't want to list the properties or do that stuff. Or at least they know they have it in their, the license in their bag. They can come in through the back door. And if it don't work out, they can put on the real estate hat, go close it, and still get 3%, right? Still get a check that's probably going to be close to a wholesale check anyways. Why not?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about getting your license?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, we had that conversation. Yeah. You have, yeah. Okay. Well, those opportunities, yeah. But I know you like the real estate side of stuff, right? Investing?
Yeah, I like the investing side a little bit more.
Yeah, me too. That's where I went. My wife went this way. She's like, go get your license. I don't want to do that. I don't want to babysit the buyers and shit, right?
Exactly.
Sellers and stuff, and this is what we're going to do. The listing stuff, I get it. But man, so I like the language of an investor. Go find me the ugliest house in the block, something that's juicy, and I'll cut you a check. Or now we go after that stuff, right? Go after it and take it down. If you're going to sell, just sell off the overflow. Take the good stuff and sell off the overflow. Obviously, you need to put money in the bank, then start off, do the bird dog wholesale, then fix and flip and all that other good stuff, right? That's the purpose of all this. Let me see what we got. Any questions?
Mm-hmm.
Anything you want to share? What's that?
No, I got a show in a little bit and stuff like that. I got to get prepared for.
That's right. Okay, cool.
Yeah, got a little stream and stuff like that.
All right.
Man, just a lot of good deals are out here in my area and stuff like that. I know that there's a lot of properties popping up and everything, especially going into we're in the fall and stuff like that, and going into the winter.
Right.
A lot of stuff popping up, so we got to get geared up, get ready and stuff. So there's gonna be a lot of stuff we're gonna be able to get under contract. It happens all the time.
Yeah, every year, man. Fall and winter.
Yeah,
just get geared up for it, and a lot of sub 2 deals are going to come down the wire. Fix and flip, wholesale, all that stuff. For sure. And what are you looking for out there in the Midwest? I mean, I know, but go ahead and share it.
We're looking for multifamilies, obviously. We're looking for land. We're looking for single families. I mean, if it's a rental and you already have it set up as a rental and stuff, and it's cash flowing good and it doesn't need a lot of repairs, let us know. We'll stick it out. We're looking at properties to fix and flip as well. Rundown properties in the Kansas City area and stuff, and the surrounding areas around there. Nothing too crazy, But yeah, we're looking pretty much for everything, man, out here. You know that. I mean,
Yeah.
especially multifamilies. A lot of multifamilies out here because I mean I live in a college town. I live where Kansas University's at, so I'm in Lawrence. I'll disclose that. You know, it's gonna be
Mhm.
hard to try to find me, but I'm in Lawrence, and it's a huge place, and there's just college kids everywhere and stuff. So there's always properties out here that we're looking at and stuff. You know that, and
Yeah.
always properties selling and stuff. New kids coming in and out, renting and stuff. You know, and it's like per bed with these college kids sometimes and stuff
Yeah.
too. So
That's
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 always good
there.
money.
Yeah, some good money there in pad split or just doing the college thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they embrace that stuff. So if we can get pads out there like that, bring them down the wire, man. Let's underwrite them. Let's write them up, and if we can
Yeah.
take them down, raise capital or whatever, or sell them off to other investors. Because I know there's investors, and I'm not even in Missouri, but we got investors that are out there that are looking for single family, including yourself, right? And multifamily and all that good stuff. And Warrensburg looking, Knob Noster. I hear some stuff's going on now. I think in the Odessa, Knob Noster, Warrensburg with the military Air Force base because I think they have the bomber out there, but they got I guess I don't know what's the second bomber or whatever this new bomber that's coming out. So within the next 2 years, there's gonna be an influx of all kinds of shit coming in. So that little area is probably gonna explode. Great for apartment buildings, pad split, or rentals of some sort, right? So
Yeah.
I'm heavy for that. If you got stuff or bring it down the wire, definitely share it with us, man.
Yeah, man. You already know always and stuff. So I'm over here hunting and chunking, seeing what we can find and everything to bring to the table. Obviously, we got that property up in Laurel, on Laurel, and the one on the other side of town in Warrensburg
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. So yeah, we're actively doing that area and stuff, man. We got the
Yeah,
property up for sale and everything. It's on the market, and then we got that
and
other
yeah,
one.
same thing. And if you see stuff, anybody out there, send it down the wire if you're in Missouri or you have Missouri property. Even you, Bet Spencer, you come across the Missouri stuff in the KC metro area, and then the surrounding areas, and then up to like Springfield. I think we're working because Lily's actually
Yeah,
in Springfield. She does the acquisition and calls for us, and
Okay.
she actually lives out there. But we're dealing with California. And I said, okay, well, we'll tap into Springfield little by little, and especially the seasons here. So we're actually working on some of that stuff in there. And of course, anything that comes down the wire for Texas and the Texas Triangle, most likely, for sure, Dallas, Fort Worth, right?
Right.
Send it down the wire, Mr. Spencer, to us. Let's work it. We'll get you an offer within 24, 72 hours. Or investor, seller, doesn't matter what it is. We'll definitely would love to work with you. Definitely watch this all the way through, backwards and forward. Um, I will do this. I know you got to roll, Mr. Victor. So if you want to kind of do the introduction for yourself, or just finish it up and close it up
yeah,
with who you are, what you're looking for. You kind of gave us a little bit of that, and then we'll go from there. And then I'm going to wrap up a little bit. And Spencer, same thing, man. Go ahead and give out your handles and what you're looking for and all that good stuff. And let's rock and roll together at the end of the day. Did want to just kind of make this and get some people in here, chat about what we're doing, as well as the mission to submission, hunt those deals and working those deals. So I'm glad that you guys are making it. That's what it's all about. 99%, like I mentioned before, is mindset, mindset, mindset. 90% is freaking showing up. And when you show up, shit happens. It's just kind of weird, right? Things go in the direction they should. And it's an amazing, beautiful thing.
that it is. That it is, man. But all right, man. Well, so everybody who doesn't know who I am and stuff like that, my name is Victor. The owner of Victorious Real Solutions. I've been working with Eric and the HA team for over 5 6 years, man. It's crazy. I keep track because it's just crazy how far I've came and stuff being with you guys and everything I've learned. Um, now, I mean, it's crazy because I went from not knowing how to really do much in real estate to owning a property and doing fix and flips and stuff like that, and wholesaling and just everything in between, man. We've had deals that I never thought I'd be able to close or we'd know how to take down if it wasn't for working with you guys, man. So I appreciate you, Eric, again for always having me on, always
Problem.
working
Of
with
course.
me and everything
Yeah.
and stuff like that. You know that working with you guys helped unlock another business for me because I kind of fell into the comic book industry and doing comics and collectibles because we were
All
taking
right.
down two foreclosures.
Yeah.
Remember, that's how
That's
these comics
great.
fell into my lap. You know, and
Yeah, that's
it's
funny.
just a crazy, crazy thing. And now I'm one of the biggest comic book retailers around and stuff, dude. I go to all the conventions and stuff, and I'm releasing
Cool.
comic exclusives 24/7. I got some crazy stuff coming out for 2026 and everything. So
Cool.
yeah, if
Yeah, sure.
anybody wants to reach out, they can hit me up and everything on any social medias. Reach out. You can find me at Victorious Real Solutions, Victorious Comics. My number
Okay.
is 925-255-5493. That's my business line. And you guys can
Cool.
email me at victoriousrealsolutions@gmail.com.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. And we're
See,
looking for deals in all over the Missouri and the Kansas area and stuff like that, and in between, especially in the metropolitan areas and stuff where there's a lot of traffic. Looking at Oklahoma, where else? Arizona. Obviously, we got Spencer out there in Texas. I'm looking for stuff in Texas and everything too. We're thinking about maybe heading
cool.
out there too. Remember, told you a while ago. We came from
For that
California.
compound?
Yeah, we came
Looking
from
for the
Cali.
compound?
Huh?
Huh? So you're looking for the compound,
Yeah, man. You can't. We left
right?
California, brother. You know, I originally was in Northern California, and then I came out here to Kansas, and now it's just the time to go somewhere else and stuff like that. That's another thing
Right.
that this helped create. Being in real estate and working with you guys, Eric, was giving me the freedom to do this and stuff like that. Like I work from home, I do everything from home, I travel and stuff. I can move when I want, and it's a beautiful thing, man. Like I said, appreciate you, and
You got it.
yeah, I
Problem.
look forward to doing more deals with you, obviously, and
Of
I
course.
look forward to closing some deals with you, Spencer, man. And welcome to the team, man. Welcome aboard, or however. I don't know what your guys' deal is, but I mean, I just know that you're working with somebody who's awesome, bro. Eric is gonna get you there, and I got his back, so I'll always be around.
I appreciate that,
Appreciate it,
Victor.
man. Did you get that, Vic?
Yep, no problem. Sorry, I was getting filled with a ton of notifications. Goodness gracious.
Okay.
Yep,
I
I
get you,
did.
man.
Yep, I got it though, man. I appreciate you, Eric, and shout out to you, Spencer, and stuff. And I look forward to talking to you guys, man.
Yeah, you got it, man. Spencer, you want to kind of give us your handles and what you're looking for down in good old Texas, and just share a little bit.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Spencer Dravick. Primarily looking here in DFW. We're going after fix and flips, sub two, buy and holds. Trying to do a little bit of everything. We're working on getting a couple rentals right now. Me and Eric are.
Mhm.
We're always looking for deals.
Right.
And then you can call me at any point. Call or text. Shoot, I'll give out my cell phone. 682-220-6044. Day or night, if I'm awake, I'll answer. I'm always out and about doing something. Text is always best.
Right?
Because if I
Yeah,
can't
same here,
answer the
man.
call, because especially when I'm at work, I'm always on the phone. But the text, I see it, boom, I got you.
Awesome. Perfect, man. And maybe if it's up to you, if you want to shed a little little insight on like who you are, what you're about, and you're obviously real estate, why you're wanting to do it, things of that nature. You game for some of that?
Sure. So
Okay.
I'll give a brief breakdown. I'm a dad, right? The kids are
Cool.
definitely motivation for
Yeah.
why I'm doing what I'm doing. Like you said earlier, I'm also a believer. Uh, Seen a lot of signs.
Awesome.
And my own testimony is I've been trying to get into real estate for years now. I've been super interested. Um, Went through a bad divorce, right? When I was trying to first start getting, was messy. Went through the whole YouTube Academy, trying to learn it all myself and do it myself. And
Yeah.
just kind of like you said, spinning tires and not going anywhere, right? Just
Right.
burning rubber. And
Yeah.
that's definitely where you came in and are super useful and valuable to me, Eric. Is
Appreciate that, man.
not only the teaching and training, but the mentorship and the motivation and the help that you provided. It's been tremendous.
Appreciate it. Much appreciated. For sure, man. From the heart, brother.
No,
Thank you.
absolutely. You're welcome.
Yeah. So it's go ahead.
I just said you're welcome. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool, man. No, I appreciate that, and I know you're on that journey, man. And there's nothing but success down the road for you and others that we're working with, man. Anything like obviously looking for Dallas, we're looking for those deals, and like the stuff, like as far as like I guess the word I'm looking for is for the rest of like 2025, 26. Where do you see yourself going, man? I know it's a little personal, but it's always cool because other people like to, like-minded going, man, why did Spencer or Victor or Eric or anybody want to do this? Can they do this? And what's in it for me? Because a lot of people are gonna be scared. You know that, right? I mean, you've
Absolutely.
experienced that
We've talked about this. I've been paralyzed by fear.
stuff. Right.
But I personally, I have a motivation of I want to be able to go from my job to real estate investing to whatever else I want to be able to do and get that freedom and time back.
Right.
It's
Gotcha.
definitely a way to be able to get there.
Yeah, and I truly believe that as well. As far as what can you like share with people out there with your experience of what we've been doing, and you don't have to get too deep or intimate about it, but at the end of the day, if you want to, that's fine too. But I know there's been a journey for you. You know, we rock, and then things can happen. You rock, and and people can whether it's the devil or whether it's just thoughts, or sometimes it's ourselves doing stuff right that keeps us from wanting or getting to our achievements or doing stuff right. And it's good to have that that
Right. Well,
backup or people with you.
yeah, and I'm sure a lot of people can resonate with this. Like I've gone through spots where I've doubted myself or been told negative things by bosses. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? And it's definitely and family. It
Right.
definitely hurts. And like you said, it's kind of on the horse, off the horse, where I'm going, and then I jump off, and then I have to restart all over again. I heard a really good analogy before. It's kind of like pushing a snowball, right? You start the snowball and it's a little bit, you get more and
Yeah.
more and more and more and more, and then you stop and it all goes away. And then you have to start all
Right.
over again and go and go and
Yeah.
go.
Right.
Um, but definitely, again, that's where having a mentor or a support team and like-minded individuals comes in handy because
Right.
they can help you through that, talk you through their own experiences, and keep you motivated and fired up.
Awesome. Awesome, man. So I guess has it been a good journey, obviously, so far? It sounds like, and I know we're ready to rock, man. I know you're ready to rock. We're going to do what we need to do. And I do appreciate you sharing. That means a lot to us at the end of the day. It means a lot to others, even just watching this, because it does get out there. People watch it. It gets monetized and all that good stuff, obviously. And I think what I'm going to take away from what you just said is that I the same thing. I think it happens to everybody. Same thing happened to me, right? It's like, hey, oh, you're going to leave your job and you're going to do this and you're going to do that. Hey, there's a burnt down property over there, right? Now they're not being nice. They're being assholes, right? They're trying to mock me or mock you and say, "Oh yeah. There's a property for you. Go check that property out." Right? It's burnt down, and and then they're arguing with you or they're saying stuff or they're making you feel bad. And I went through the same thing. There's people that I have family members, and they're like, "Oh, I went to college. I did this. I got a master's degree and all this shit." But at the end of the day, you know, to prove them wrong at the end, it is what it is. I made more money than they did, right? Made more money when we're, the revenge. I don't know if it's revenge. Just what do they say? The best revenge is going to the bank and making those deposits and living the life that you want to live and being able to do. Hey, you got to go to work. Well, we're going over here on vacation. Don't go do this. Can do that, right?
Right.
And then they say, hey, I always knew you could do it. I always knew you could do it. And you're like, you got a big fu for them, right? Or you got the, you're grabbing the crotch like Michael Jackson and saying, "Here you go, suck on that," right? It is what it. I know it's live and all this good stuff, but hey, it's we're not on the FCC, I don't think, right? And it doesn't matter now. Anyway, but you know what I'm saying. So I feel you there, and it can be difficult, man. It's about believing in yourself and having people. Like I always say, right? We got each other's backs, and that's the beauty of AHA, Amplify American Mentee Program. But what we do, and that's why it's a selection process, right? I mean, we've chatted for a while before you even came aboard and started working with us, man. Yeah. And then out of the gate, boom, you're magically ready to rock. In 11 days, got a deal, and we're moving forward. And then now you're on the horse, you're getting stuff. I know that when you turn it on, magic happens. It's because your mind is there, and then you have us to keep you from the pitfalls, right? Don't you remember like the analogy? You make a right hand turn. You could go down there if you want, Spencer. I'll be, and then you're going to ask me, well, let's go, man. Are we doing this together? Yeah, but I already know that's what's down there. But if you want to go check it out, right?
Oh yeah.
Let me know when you come back. And then you come back and going, okay, it's either what transpired or we don't talk about it and just say, hey, what do we need to do? We're going to go this way. This is where the money's at. This is where the action's at. This is where the transaction's at. Let's go. And we go do this, right? And, that's just part of the process. But it keeps you from spinning those wheels for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, even when we're making progress. Because even when you're making progress, things can happen, right? Oh, I'm doing wholesale. Then all of a sudden I watched this and I did that, and now I'm going to do this. And then you jump off the horse and I'm going to go do this. Real creative real estate, or I heard this tip, and you're following the trends, right? And that can mess up people. I've seen people do that. I'm doing wholesale and they're doing pretty good. Then they're going, oh, no. I think in my market, it's a rental market, so I'm going to start doing creative real estate investing, all this other stuff. But then it's a big learning curve, and they're not making any money because the shit can what was making money, right? So unless there's somebody there telling them, hey, no, that's probably not a good idea. Keep on doing what you're doing. And if something comes onto the table, we're going to work that, right? That's the beauty of what we do with Amp Live, the American Mentee Program, is that, hey, your first deal might be a wholesale deal, fix and flip, buy and hold, sub-2, seller finance. And you don't got to have all that knowledge in your head. You just got to have a leap of faith working with us and going, yeah, hey, and then putting it on the table and go, which route do you want to go, Spencer, right?
Yeah.
Like we're doing now, right?
Absolutely.
And we're going to go from a wholesale deal to probably buy and hold. And yeah, we're going to build a relationship. We're going to work together. You might buy it together, might buy it separately, but all those things are on the table, right? And I don't think there's really any other program that will do that or wanting to do that or willing to do that because of the liabilities and all the bullshit that goes with it, right? And yeah, this is live too, so it's out in the world, and so some people are okay with that. I mean, we're not getting deep into technicalities of the contracts, agreements, and all that good stuff, right? Leave that for the attorneys and everything else and CPAs and everything, man. But I get where you're feeling, and I appreciate you sharing that, man, because people just don't understand that, you can get stuck, and then the goal is to get you unstuck. But at the same token, it's not like, the same as everything else. It's not like an upgrade. What we're doing here together is truly a cause and mission. And with others like you and others, man, that we work with, it's to build that long-term relationship, man. We'll be here. I always say, knock on wood. There's no wood. Is there wood? Knock, knock, knock. All right. Knock on wood, right? That we'll be here for a couple of cycles, man. And hopefully you will be too, because I know you're a young cat. You're a young cat, man. You got a lot to be moving and a lot to look forward to. And we're glad to have you. Thank you for having I'll say it, man, the balls come on live. But I know you're like that. That's cool, because I know video doesn't bother you. Getting live doesn't bother you. That's why I think eventually you're going to become an awesome coach and mentor for others, man, when you get to that point. And I know it's going to happen. But let's rock those deals. So once again, Spencer, appreciate it. Spencer's out in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. Send those deals down the wire. How far are you willing to go out, or is it just Dallas, Fort Worth?
You know what? If it's a juicy deal, anywhere in the Texas Triangle.
Okay.
Like you said, as far down as Austin, San Antonio.
Cool.
I can go to Houston, anywhere in between.
All right. Awesome. So and then we got to get you lined out with that, and you're using a cell phone, right?
Let's say that again. We broke up for a second.
Said your I guess, what do you call it, handles or channels and all that good stuff. You're pretty much
cell phone. You can find me on Facebook. Okay. Spencer Drabick. Cool. I'm wearing this for now until I change my profile picture. It's been the
Okay,
same
gotcha.
thing for like 5 years.
Awesome. All right. Well, yeah. Well, that's all going to change, brother. I appreciate it. And anything else you'd like to add or share?
No, I think that's everything.
Okay. Wonderful. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. But I will see you. I know. We'll chat when we get off here, and then let's connect. We got those properties in Dallas, Fort Worth, and I'd like to get you. Maybe when I know with your schedule, when time permits, right? Get on these calls. Get on the some of these trainings and things of that nature. Get you going because I think it's really going to help once we start moving to the next phase of marketing. But like I said, hey, we only go as fast or as slow as you want to, man, and we'll move. We'll go from there. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. Spencer, Victor, anyone else who watches this stuff, I know there's some links that went out to the team. If you didn't make it, I get it. Make sure next time you got to make sure you show up to the party because that's what this is all about. Rock and roll, AHA, Americans helping Americans, one American at a time, one property at a time, one family at a time, doing our part to get America back on track together with you and others across the United States of America. Thank you for showing up. It's the Amplify Real Estate Show. Eric, your host. Spencer, Victor, and anybody else comes down the wire. It's an open door policy. Let's rock and roll together because that's what this is all about. It's all about Made in America. Let's get back to Made in America and Amplify the American Mentee Program, the only program of its kind where we train and mentor others across the United States of America. And it's true one-on-one mentoring. There's no program on the planet like it, I guarantee it, because no one's going to spend the time to do those things. It's a done-for-you, done-for-you type of program. We get in and we rock and help you build your brand and build your business together with like-minded people. Powered by Amplified Media. That's what powers our marketing and things of that nature. And mentees, the same thing. If they choose to tap into it, they don't have to. But why reinvent the wheel? I mean, you just plug in to Amplified Media, a media broadcasting and marketing company sponsored by VIP Execs Realty and Lending. Step into excellence. Appreciate it if you decide you want to get your license or hang your license, or in Southern California looking for property and all that good stuff, I will turn you on to my broker. My resources, our resources will become your resources. Thank you very much. As I always say, rock and roll in all that you do. Spencer, we good to go?
Absolutely.
All right, man. And any you got any rock and roll sayings for us so we can set it off into the into the horizons, bro?
Wait, say that again. You're breaking up for me a little bit.
Sure. You got any good quotes to share with us so we can close this up in a rock and roll manner?
Not off the top of my head, but keep
It's cool, man.
rolling and crush it.
There you go. Keep rolling and crush it. Rock and roll. We'll talk to you later. Thank you much, man. Everybody else, take it easy. We'll see you later. We'll be back for Saturday training, Mindset Money Monday, Wellness Wednesday, and we'll come back to Friday highlights. Send those deals. Talk to you later.